Miller. I was trying to talk to him.
Yeah, I was singing Rush. It's all right.
Yeah, but I wanted to hear Rush.
Oh, okay.
See that ding? That means somebody's on. Somebody's on. All right, you got everything? All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to On the Spot. We're going the full 2 hours tonight. Good Saturday evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to On the Spot with David Rodgers, the live Facebook interactive show where you, the viewer, has total input on topics of discussion regarding any subject that includes commenting, talking, or debating, not with just your host, but with each other. You control and run this show, ladies and gentlemen. We are just the rudder that steers this big old ship in this big old vessel. This is the show that is wide open with no limits as we bring it to you first. We discuss breaking news, politics, and business, sports, and other pertinent stories that affect our everyday lives. We serve the regional area to include Stark, Lake Butler, Keystone Heights, Palatka, Gainesville, Waldo, Lulu. By the way, I seen your stepsister over in Lulu the other day when I was riding through there at 4 o'clock. Melrose, Brooker, Hampton, Middleburg, Jacksonville, and other surrounding areas. If there is a story to be reported or dissected, On the Spot is the first to handle it. We also discuss happenings in Florida, as well as Georgia and other southeastern states.
Well, you steered it right to that iceberg.
Oh, goodness gracious alive. But now let me introduce the show team, the guys who bring the move to all the groove. First, behind the controls, with the video and audio, is our senior producer, Mr. Command and Control. The big dog, our executive producer, Super Dave Daredevil Holland. Say hello to everybody, David.
Hello, everybody.
Behind the scenes is our director, Michael the Dragon Slayer Heater. Behind the scenes, providing us with some more information and always up-to-date information. First, our sports production assistant. Man, he's here. Roger the Tornado Cruz. Say hello, Roger.
Hello.
Our man with all things weather, he couldn't be here tonight, is Austin Storm Chaser Stevens. And now my co-host, to my left, the historian and governmental whiz on all things national and international, world, even state,
Sometimes.
even regional.
Sometimes.
Byron, the one who helps keep our freedom and rights Bagwell.
Good evening, infidels.
And
Once
to
again.
my right, oh boy, to my right, he ain't here tonight because he's on special assignment with local news and breaking information. We miss him tonight, Byron. Mitchell, the American Scout, and your lookout on terrorism and anything else that doesn't belong or looks out of place.
Gunter.
Hey, all right. And I'm your host, Mr. David Rodgers, the voice of the Bradford High Tornadoes, and
The show pony.
Hey, welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. We are coming to you live from the Bradford County Sheriff's Office, and we want to thank our host, Sheriff Gordon Smith, and his great emergency management staff for their hospitality. Just a reminder about the new and improved ADO. What is ADO, Byron?
Audience-driven overtime.
So you, the viewer, has your say anytime a story hits near and dear to the hearts of our viewers, or you have questions or comments about any subject, we jump into ADO, Byron.
Even a certain person's meds.
Is he on tonight?
I don't know.
Oh, boy. This allows you, the viewers, to have complete control of our show while giving everyone equal opportunity to have their voices heard. And now, before we dive into the show, it's time to recognize our sponsors, the companies and groups that allow us to provide the services that we do. Byron, Dave, Roger, and audience, we call this Welcome to the Sponsor Spotlight. Give us that first one, Byron.
All right, sir. Starting with our very own David Holland and the rest of the fantastic team at Harry Business, home of the $8 haircut, located in the Deerfoot Village, open 7 days a week, 9 to 6, Monday through Saturday, and 12 to 4 on Sunday. Mr. Dave will cut your hair really well.
Yep, but tell them the new hours, Dave.
Because of what's going on in the world today in our great state of Florida, I've had to cut my hours. So until another notice is put out, we're open Wednesday through Saturday.
Oh, okay.
10 to 3.
10 to 3.
Okay.
Okay. All right, and
that was Wednesday through Saturday, 10 to 3, guys.
10 to
Go
3.
See him. He cuts hair really well.
And look now, he'll have a sign on his door. I was there yesterday. As all y'all can tell, he did my hair yesterday. We had a couple of guys knock on the door while we were there, and they read the sign. So there is a sign posted there. Don't get mad. Hey, it is the way it is. Hey, Dave will be there. I'm telling you, he'll be there as soon as he can to get your hair cut for you. Just make your appointments between 10 and 3. Miracle Automotive and Towing in Stark and McClinney. Don't pray for a miracle. Call Miracle. 904-368-1114. 24 hours a day. 7 days a week, 365 days a year for all of your towing and automotive needs. Kenny and Kurt Miracle, great people.
They're great people, and they do really good work, too.
Yes. How about this one?
Williams Jewelry of Stark, open 9 to 5:30, Monday, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, 9 to 4 on Wednesdays, and 10 to 4 on Saturdays. And they'll make jewelry for you, too, if they don't have something that you want.
Vicki Williams, one of the nicest people you'll ever want to meet, right, Byron Bagwell?
Absolutely a great person, yes.
Yeah, how about you read this one? I don't like boasting myself. Why don't you read that one?
On the spot lawn maintenance. Let the red, white, and blue take care of your green. We have your gutters and your pressure washing covered, and all sorts of yard maintenance needs. Just find us on Facebook or call us at 904-966-1633. And that would belong to this gentleman that's sitting beside me right here. And he does a really good job of the stuff he does, too.
I sure appreciate it. We was out cutting grass today, me and Bart Norton. And we had a couple of, Bart Norton. And we're going to have his information on here as well in future shows. But we was out cutting today, Dave. Made a little bit of money. Made some people happy with their yards. Man, it smelled. You can smell that fresh onion and that fresh ragweed grass. Oh my goodness! Hey, I'm surprised I don't have any sinus problems right now.
You can keep that ragweed.
Oh, you ain't kidding.
Keep that ragweed away from
me
right now. I don't need any more of what I had last week.
And you can explain to everybody here in a little bit what that was all about. Service First Mobile Small Engine Repair McRae. Let Chuck Scarberry come to you. Call 904-703-5136 to schedule an appointment. Hey, how about this one,
Schuster and Sabin Law Firm out of Jacksonville, Florida. If you've been injured in an accident, visit www.piplaw.com.
Schuster and Sabin, that's right. How about Mike Qualls and Lazy Q Productions? If you need a jingle for your jangle or a catchphrase for your business, contact Mike Qualls with Lazy Q Productions. Mrs. Clean Housekeeping Services, commercial and residential cleaning. Call Karen today for your estimate. 352-575-5835. Michael Heater believes in that lady, brother.
Oh, yeah.
He's already told us what she does. Oh, yeah. Hey, she was trying to clean the house. She said, get out. I'm cleaning. Get out. All right, so, hey, how about this?
And last but certainly not least, North Florida Complete Dentistry with Dr. Johnson and Baxter.
Yeah.
They've got all your dental needs covered, located conveniently on Dunn Avenue in Jacksonville. Call Dan Baxter at 904-751-4958. And guess what, Dave? If
What's
you
that?
mention on the spot, you're going to get 10% off.
What?
10% off. I'm 10%. Telling you right now, Jacksonville, Florida. We're 40 miles from there.
Go get your grill fixed.
Hey, well, you know, I've got an appointment next week with those guys. Me and Tupac's going to have something in common.
Tupac,
not Tupac.
Tupac of what?
Tupac, you know Dear Mama? You know that?
No.
Yeah, that song. Anyway, hey, he had some gold in his teeth. I'm going to have some gold in mine. Next week?
Oh.
How about that? I'm going to be the new rapper right there. How about, whoa, are you kidding me? Really? Yes, sir. And I'll tell you what, we can't. Mr. Jamie Clemens, if you're on, we're still trying to write up your spot right now, so make sure that you contact Jamie Clemens for your asphalt, your gravel needs. He's got that covered. He's also got another business as well. Maybe he'll tell us on the show what's going on with that. But we're going to make sure that we write that also on our show because you are one of our great sponsors. If you would like to become one of our sponsors, call John Probst, 904-782-7101, or email the team at onthespot32011@gmail.com.
Sorry about that, brother.
No, that was great, man. We sounded in rhythm, like walking in rhythm. You know that song, don't you? You know the Blackbirds? 1974 hit? And now it's time to get started with our prayer, pledge, and patriotic quote of the week. Now, ladies and gentlemen.
Cashmere.
You know Cashmere?
Yeah.
I ain't asking nothing about Fergie.
No, not Fergie.
Oh.
No, oh, God, no.
Please, I was hoping you wasn't thinking about that.
I didn't know there was another Cashmere out there.
Yeah, I don't know. I think she sings it.
Yeah, no.
Okay, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, no, Led Zeppelin.
Led Zeppelin, Zepp.
No,
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, there you go. So we're going to start off with our prayer, our pledge, and patriotic quote of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, if you'll please bow your head. Our righteous Heavenly Father, let us once thank again for a wonderful and glorious day, dear Lord. Thank you for letting us do this show, the ability for us to be able to do this show here in a wonderful place, Mayberry, as people call it, Stark, Florida. But you know what, dear Lord? You bless us each and every day, and we thank you for what you do. I want to thank Sheriff Gordon Smith and what he does for us, dear Lord. Keep blessing this department and all his staff as they keep doing the right things for Bradford County. I want to thank you, God, for also giving us all the food that we receive, and as we receive it, that it goes into the nourishment of our bodies and our bodies to thy service. Thank you for letting us live in the greatest country in the world today, the freest country in the world today, the United States of America.
Amen.
And thank you for our armed forces, dear Lord, as they're out there defending and protecting our freedom and our rights. Keep a hedge of protection, dear Lord, as they're out doing these things for us, dear Lord, and bring them back safely to their families, dear Lord. Anybody with a spoken or unspoken prayer request, dear Lord, touch their hearts. You know their needs and their wants, dear Lord. Just please touch them as I know that you will. Again, I want to thank you for this wonderful and glorious day, this wonderful and glorious weekend. Thank you for letting us work. Also, dear Lord, help us out with this coronavirus, dear Lord. You're the ultimate healer, dear Lord. You're the one. If we look up to you and we pray and we ask you to help stop this, dear Lord, we know that you will do that. We ask for these things in your Son's name, Jesus Christ, and the congregation says,
Amen.
Amen. All right, let's stand for our pledge. All right, Mr. Dave Holland, if you would, sir, would you do the honors?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen. All right. Do we have a patriotic quote of the week, Mr. Bagwell, as we always do?
We do. Those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. And that is from my grandfather, great-grandfather, or great-great-grandfather.
Is that Benjamin Franklin?
That would be Benjamin Franklin.
Wow, and you know, we've done the test, and for sure it is. There's no doubt about it. You know that, right?
And I'll take it.
Yes, I know you will.
take it.
All right, all right. How about this? Here's your quick and dirty for this Tuesday night, sponsored by Austin's Weather Service. Contact Austin's Weather Service on Facebook for your up-to-date forecast. In the early morning hours of Saturday, March 28th, deputies with the Bradford County Sheriff's Office responded to 2 separate calls in the northwest part of the county. During their initial investigations, they discovered both incidents were related to several vehicle and boat thefts that had occurred in the same area over the last 2 nights. While interviewing all 3 suspects, they admitted to being involved in multiple grand thefts. Louis Tarantino Jr., Terry Barnett, and Harriet Waldron were arrested on charges of grand theft and taken to the Bradford County Jail. They're probably right here tonight, Byron. Why don't you? Oh, well, I'll read this. In addition, Tarantino was placed on hold for an outstanding warrant out of Hernando County for welfare fraud. Are you kidding me? Terry Barnett was found to be in possession of methamphetamines and drug paraphernalia, as well as a violation of probation warrant from Columbia County, where I work at over in Lake City, for the original charge of driving while license suspended or revoked.
So,
how about this one, Byron?
BCSO firefighters.
Yeah, there you go.
Firefighters handled a brush fire in the 19,000 block of Northwest 56th Avenue off of State Road 16 earlier today. This was on the heels of another fire that broke out alongside the bypass near Walmart. The hot temperatures and dry conditions are part of the reason a burn ban has been enacted in the county. And we're finding out who Mitchell's long-lost great-great-great-grandfather is. Drum roll, please, gentlemen.
Stop the drum roll. We actually found out who his brother is.
Oh, it's not his grandpa.
Ladies and gentlemen, in our viewing audience, as Mitchell Gunner is not here tonight, and we are 99.95% sure, with the help of our good friend Maury Povich and some deep research for our esteemed colleagues, Mitchell, your long-lost brother is none other than, give me a drum roll now, Adam Schiff. Oh, boy. You know Mitchell is fixing to come on here and blast the mess out of us.
I got to find out what that dude's address is.
Yeah. Once again, we like to thank all of our sponsors for their continued support. You are the reason we are here. Now, let me give you the, of course, absolute weather report from Austin's Weather Service. A significant severe thunderstorm outbreak is likely for portions of the Midwest this afternoon and evening, especially from eastern Iowa into northern and central Illinois. The threats include tornadoes, a few which may be significant, large to very large hail, Byron, and damaging winds. A powerful system near the Central Plains will lift north and clash with a warm and humid air mass over the region. And let me tell you, somebody that can't afford another tornado or anything like that. You want to tell everybody?
You're talking about the Oklahoma in general?
Yeah, I'm talking Oklahoma. I'm talking those people in Nashville, Tennessee.
No.
Yeah, they definitely don't know.
And the thing is if you watch the weather patterns, it's kind of crazy because it starts up in Oklahoma and it actually drifts down and then comes right across the state of Tennessee. So normally when Oklahoma gets that stuff, Tennessee ends up seeing some of it.
Yeah, all right, here's our weather for our area. Tonight, mostly clear, lows 60 to 64 to southwest winds, 5 miles per hour. Sunday, mostly sunny, highs 91 to 96, southwest winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. Sunday night, clear in the evening, then becoming partly cloudy, lows 60 to 65. West winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Monday, partly cloudy, highs 90 to 94. Northwest winds out of 5 miles per hour, shifting to the southeast in the afternoon. Monday night, partly cloudy in the evening, and then becoming mostly cloudy, lows 63 to 67. With the southeast winds, 5 miles per hour, shifting to the southwest after midnight. Tuesday, mostly cloudy with a 20% chance of showers and thunderstorms. Highs 86 to 90. Forecast issued tonight, right before we came on the show at 7 p.m.
90.
Yeah. How about that, huh?
Yeah.
Hot. Yeah, it is. But that was issued by who? Austin. How about that? Austin's Weather Service. Now, let me get to Pascagoula, Mississippi, and surrounding and regional areas right here. Tonight, partly cloudy in the evening, then becoming mostly cloudy. Lows around 70. Southwest winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Sunday, mostly cloudy, a 20% chance of showers in the morning. Highs 80 to 83. You see the difference in the temperatures right there?
Yeah.
Absolutely. West winds 5 to 10 miles per hour, shifting to the north in the afternoon. Sunday night, mostly cloudy in the evening, then becoming partly cloudy. Lows 63 to 66. Northeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Monday, mostly cloudy. A 20% chance of showers in the afternoon. Highs 80 to 84. East winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Monday night, cloudy. slight chance of showers in the evening. Then showers likely and slight chance of thunderstorms after midnight. Low 66 to 70. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of precipitation, guess what? 70%.
Good. We
Yeah.
need some rain real bad.
Well, that's for them. I mean, I hope it shifts over to us.
Yeah.
Tuesday, partly cloudy, showers likely, and slight chance of thunderstorms in the morning. Then slight chance of showers in the afternoon. Highs 80 to 83. Chance of participation, 70%. Forecast issued just a little after 7 o'clock by Austin's Weather Service. Thank you, Austin, for everything that you do. Wonderful job, Austin.
certainly. We appreciate
We
everything he
appreciate everything he
Forecasts
does.
are accurate, too.
Pretty much. They are pretty much right on the spot there, if no pun intended. Again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. My name is David
Tom
Rodgers.
Bailey just said there was a tornado hit Jonesboro or Arkansas.
All right, and we've got a viewer that I know is a new viewer. I went to school with her as well. Her name is Brittany, I think. I gotta think of her name now. But anyway, she's joining us. Bridget Overstreet.
Oh, okay.
From Little Rock, Arkansas. Sort of close down that way. So make sure, Bridget, that you're taking heed to that. Looks like one hit in Jonesboro, Arkansas. But
Drive through Little Rock twice a year.
yes, you
Going
do.
and coming.
Yes, absolutely you do. So, want to welcome in, Byron, everybody to the show. My name is David Rodgers. I'm your host. Right along to my left is Byron Bagwell. Right here to my right,
Adam Schiff's brother?
are you are?
No.
Him. Mitchell Gunner.
Mitchell Gunner.
Is Adam Schiff's brother?
Yeah.
That's what it said.
Yeah, that's what it said.
Ooh,
and he's already laughed out loud and said, no way.
He said, no way?
No way.
Yes way.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Is he, ask him if he's calling Maury Povich a liar.
He's calling Maury Povich a liar.
Over here to my right, Mr. Dave Holland, producing the show. Right over here, rolling and scrolling and doing his thing. Where maybe we'll get some comments up here in a few minutes, guys. We'll be able to see him right here on the TV, I hope. Mr. Roger the Tornado Cruz. So anytime, Roger, you want to bring those comments up, we can go ahead and do that, as we'll have to look at most of them on the phone here. We're going to try to get to each and everybody that we can and every comment that we can. Again, welcome into the show. We're going to go ahead and get started right here. Byron, if you've been living outside of this galaxy, outside of this solar system,
Yeah.
under 14,000 pounds of rock,
Yeah.
or anything else,
Yeah.
the main topic all over the world, all over our beautiful United States, would be, I'll give you 3 guesses, and the first 2 don't count.
The pork barrel spending in the stimulus package?
Yes, but no. That wasn't the answer I was looking for. Strike one.
Okay.
You got 3 chances.
How corrupt the Chinese government is?
We're going to talk about that. Not quite what I was looking for. Second strike.
You need limes with your Corona?
Hey, did you say bing, ding, 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 the correct word, the coronavirus? You didn't say coronavirus. You said lime with it.
Limes, that's what I said.
Good grief. Anyway, if you've been...
I haven't been on a show in 2 shows, man.
I know it.
I'm going to be full of it tonight. You know that.
Yes, I know. And that's okay. We need him to. Byron actually ain't been on in 3 shows, really. Because remember, you got called on to 1. So, yeah, so he hasn't been on 3 shows. Glad to have him back as well. We want to get here to our comments right here. We're scrolling back up right here. I'm going to put my glasses on so I can see Byron. Usually don't see good without our glasses. Mary Ellen Carty. Yes, good evening, Mary. Bart Norton, did you get cooled off, brother? We spent a lot of time in the heat today. I did. We talked about that a little bit. Austin's Weather Service, thank you for providing that great and wonderful weather report like you always do. Mama, hello there. How are you?
Yeah, she's doing really well, and we may be doing even better Tuesday night. Maybe.
Really?
Maybe.
Oh.
Maybe.
Love you, Mom. Yeah. How about that? That was a good start, isn't it?
I can't say anything about that. I
Okay.
just got myself in trouble for even saying that.
Lucy Davis, thank you for those wonderful compliments. We appreciate that.
Thank you, Miss Davis.
Hi, Mr. David, Mr. Byron. Yep, Noah, hello there. Yes, I did. A lot of people have asked me about. Hang on there, Dave. I think she went, whoa.
I thought she was talking about Ric Flair there for a
Yeah,
second.
woo, woo, woo.
He's not
Hey,
styling and profiling anymore.
No, as a matter of fact, a lot of people asked me about that when they seen it. They went, man, you got the short look. And I'm going to tell you a couple of things just to get into it real quick. Me and Dave started talking about this on Thursday night. We started talking. I said, Dave, man, I want it long, but I said I really can't grow my hair long because it flips. I don't like when it flips down at the end. It looks like a curly Q girl. You know what I mean? Nothing wrong with that, ladies. It looks great on you, but it don't look great on me. So decided to go back to the shorter, younger look. With Dave, that's what Dave said. Dave said it makes you look younger. So I went back to that and going to keep it like this for a little bit. We'll see. We did a couple of things to see it'll grow out more, but I like it, Byron. And actually today, I really preferred it because it kept me a little bit cooler than that long mop mess that I would have had. So
I thought you were going to go for the Billy Ray Cyrus look.
I was trying. I was. Noah, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. He said he's waiting for the virus to get done so he can get his done. Well, it may be a while, brother. You may be like Samson and have all that long hair before you get it cut.
Just to let everybody know that this virus is not going away.
No, it isn't.
You're going to continue to hear about cases of it. The cases are going to arc, and they're going to be a bunch of them, and then they're going to come down, and then 4 or 5 years later, like we're hearing about MERS and SARS and swine flu, there'll be 4 or 5 cases
Absolutely.
in the United States, and that will be the end of that.
Did you want to answer that? I didn't mean to interrupt you. Lucy Davis had a question for Noah. He said, it looked like you just got out of the shower. Can you go back? Yeah, there you go. It was Lucy. Yeah, there you go.
A little bit earlier, when I actually put stuff in my hair to keep it in place, and I put it in my hair when it's wet, it keeps that wet look.
Yeah. You know who you look like? I've always told you? Frank Serpico.
Frank Serpico?
Yeah, Serpico, the detective Serpico from New York City.
I'll take it.
Yeah, you'll take it. Al Pacino, you'll take that any day of the week. Yeah, I'll take Al Pacino too.
I'll take Al Pacino.
Love the smell of fresh mowed grass. Absolutely. Yes, it does. It bothers me, though, after a while. Did you make... Well, I barely made some myself, Lucy. I don't know about making you any, but I barely made any myself today. I went out there and did most of these for free.
Oof.
Oh, yeah, I know it. Nah, I'm just messing. Trying to be near Lily's. Okay, happy that Bradford County has a burn ban. It's really hot right now. Not a lot of rain within the last month. We definitely needed a burn ban, Byron. Some of us can burn sensibly. Then there's others.
You can't.
No. And the next thing you know, here goes our fire department in 54,000 different directions. And that would not be good. So, yes, without any rain, absolutely. I smelt the wild onions today, Noah, by the way. Absolutely. Why singer and rapper, guys? Not understanding that one. Why don't you explain that to us? So, all right. Yeah, I'm not sure what that means. Marie, thank you for joining us. Hey, even though that you're late, I want to tell you, even though that you're late, you can always come in, but you can always go back and see what you missed. All the time. Tell them where you can catch that at, Byron.
You can catch that at On the Spot on Facebook with David Rodgers on Facebook.
Yeah, and YouTube. Because downloaded on YouTube. That's for sure. So, Thomas Jefferson said, I prefer dangerous liberty over safety tyranny.
Thomas Jefferson said, I prefer dangerous liberty over safe tyranny. The safety of tyranny.
Safety of, that's what I was,
Yeah, and that's actually not Thomas Jefferson.
I didn't think so.
It's attributed to him.
Yeah.
But there was an Irish lawyer that actually said that in one of his essays, and I cannot remember the guy's name.
We'll have to
look
that up.
It is attributed to Thomas Jefferson.
We'll give you that one, Tom. Byron said he'll give it to you.
I will. I've used it before as Thomas Jefferson quote. It's a
Marie,
great quote.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I knew I was going to get a lot of deals on this new haircut. So it feels a lot better, and I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Mitchell Gunner? Yes, it is. He's calling Maury a liar. Well, you call Maury, and you tell him he's lying, Mitchell Gunner. Everybody's laughing about that. Tornado hit North Jonesboro. We just talked about that. Melissa Delk, thank you for joining us. Hello there. How are you? Noah Gibson again. I found it. Who? Hey, Anthony Black out of Tallahassee, Florida.
He's in God's country.
Yes, he is. And you know who else I seen on here? Sarge.
Is Sarge on here?
Yeah, Sarge is on here. You know what he told me? I was wearing my Navy shirt, right, yesterday at work. You know what he told me?
What?
He said, you got something on your shirt, David.
I figured that much.
Yeah. Well, you know what I told him?
What?
I told him we're the real men's department in this thing.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so we almost got into a thing there. But anyway, me and Sarge is good. Jonesboro, Arkansas is in the southeast corner of the state of Arkansas, northwest of Memphis. Just right on the other side of Little Rock, bro. Hey, Little Rock is up that way too. So, Bridget, yes, you're welcome. Absolutely. So, I went to school. Bridget graduated in 1981. I graduated in 80. So, that's the one we're going to be doing the deal with, the DJing thing.
Cool,
man. That's exactly right. Mitchell Gunner, Lucy Davis, and 12 other people joined.
There's not going to be videos of that running around.
Oh, boy. Oh, what happens in Gula stays in Gula.
No, we need some plausible deniability.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. So, let's see. What does Ellen got to say there? You can't even begin to tell how corrupt the Chinese are. Ellen Disher Williams. Yes, we are going to tell you. And we're going to get into that just as soon as I acknowledge everybody here on the show. You can bet your sweet roses that you're growing in your rose garden that we're going to do that.
Yeah.
Absolutely we are. Ralph Thornton, brother, how you doing? Hey, Ellen and Sheila Lyons and Mary Ellen Carty. Thank you, Mary Ellen. I appreciate it. Thank you, Ellen. I appreciate that. Yeah, I just had to do something else with it. Austin's on. Tina Marie Harris is on. Mine is curly, so it's going to be interesting. Mine was curly, too. And you see what happened to it now. Byron, you need to speak up. You are hard to hear. That's Becky Norton. That's Bart's wife. Yep. Would you like to say hello to Becky?
Hello, Miss Becky.
Yeah, could you hear that, Becky? All right. Any change for Bradford? Any more cases? No more cases at this point, Melissa Delk. However, we are monitoring this with the strictest of passions, as we always do. There was a new case in Lake City. They went from 2 to 3. Is there any new cases in Clay? Do you know?
Not that I know of.
Not that I know of in Clay. So, yeah, well, we hadn't even gotten into that, but I appreciate that. Thank you, Roger, for chiming in. We got the opposite problem in Alabama. We've had too much rain. Well, why don't you ship some of it down here? Pipe it on down here. That's exactly right. So we'd love to have some of that rain. Roger, can you get to that Mary Ellen comment? You were talking about Led Zeppelin and Tupac.
Okay.
Okay. Led Zeppelin, he was talking about Kashmir, and I'd said something about when he read the dentistry, our dentist sponsor. I said, was making a funny. I said, next week I'm going to get some gold teeth put in like Tupac.
Yep.
And then he went Tupac, and then
Tupac.
That's when you went Tupac, and I went Tupac, and then you said Kashmir.
Tupac what?
Tupac of gold teeth I'm going to get put in next week. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you said Tupac and Fergie. Yes, because Kashmir, you know who originally done Kashmir? We do. Can you tell me Noah Gibson? But I think Fergie did Kashmir, or one of them girls did Kashmir.
We did Kashmir?
Gibson or something. It's maybe.
Oh, no, it can't be the same song.
No.
I can't see him. I can't.
No. So, Led Zeppelin, tell Byron to speak louder. Wow, Byron, what's going on today?
I don't know.
Just give him a shout. Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Just go ahead and say a few words.
I don't know what's going on.
I'm not sure either.
I guess it may be because I'm turning and talking to you, but not projecting my voice to the microphone. I don't know.
Can y'all hear him now? Give us a thumbs up. Byron, just say a few
Hello,
things.
Guys. Yes, China is corrupt. Absolutely corrupt.
Absolutely.
They steal our technology.
Till the end of days?
Till the end of days. They release viruses on the world from their... Yeah, can you hear me now, guys?
Okay, this is the thumbs up. Okay, good. All right. Let me go back, Roger. Can you go back? Thanks for clarifying. I voice texted it safe, and it came out safety. All right, Tom. Yep. Too much rain.
He's talking about the Jefferson quote.
Oh, the Jefferson quote. Okay. Okay. All right. Public safety alert. Florida Surgeon General. Stay home if you're 65 plus or have medical conditions. All follow social distancing.
Bye, guys.
Button actions available. See you later, guys. Good grief. Yeah, hey, social distancing, man.
Don't run your drink over, man.
Where is it? Oh, yeah, we got, oh. The reason we are sitting so close, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people ask us, hey, y'all can all attest, when we came in here today, and every time that we've come in here for the last several weeks, there's a sheriff's officer sitting out here qualified to take our temperature and ask the questions that we need to have asked. And if you'll give me that paper, David, I'll read off those questions that they asked us right there.
And not only that, I actually get tested 4 or 5 times a day, 6 times a day with what I do.
So that's why we're sitting a little close together. All of us tested good on our temperature. This is the 4 questions they've asked us. And this is probably, if you work in any kind of sales or anything where you're delivering like Byron does, these are probably some of the questions you're being asked. Have you returned from international travel or been on a cruise within the last 14 days? Have you had contact with someone who has or is under investigation for COVID-19? Have you had any domestic travel in the last 14 days? And they'll check that to see if it was a high-risk area where you've traveled in. And have you experienced signs or symptoms of a respiratory infection, such as fever, cough, shortness of breath? If seasonal allergies with no hay fever, they can be allowed to enter. Hello, everybody. That's me and him. You don't know how many, Byron, how long have we been talking about our sinus problems and our hay fever problems?
A long time.
A long time. And we got it. But that's the 4 questions that we get asked. So that's why me and Byron sit here.
You want to know one of the questions that they asked me?
What'd they ask you?
I don't remember where this was, but it was one of the first places I went. It was either Thursday or Wednesday, one of the two.
Right.
At the end of all of that, they asked me if I was pregnant.
Oh, boy. Oh, really? When I picked up this drink? Well, I know I look pregnant, but my goodness, are you kidding?
The lady asked me if I was pregnant. She was looking directly at the list. And I was going,
pregnant.
Nope. And when she said that, I cracked a smile and said yes. And I tripped her up. She started laughing. Everybody needs a little bit of comedy right now because this stuff, everybody's taking this so seriously. So, guys, protect yourself, be safe, but have fun. Life's too short not to have fun.
Yeah.
I mean, there's things you can do to still have fun while this is going on.
I want to get into a little bit here. Dave brought up a good point, and we haven't really hit it the last couple of shows, but that is a great point that you brought up. We were going to do it again this Friday. Dave, I think what's going to happen is from here out, unless there's just any major changes in information, we will not be doing that show on Fridays. But we were involved in a great show last Friday where we had all of our county officials that come together, anybody of importance, anybody with a title, anybody that affects our everyday lives was on this show. And we held it right here. I was the mediator for that. I had Mr. Mitchell Gunner. Mr. Byron Bagwell was on a special assignment that particular day. Had Mr. Dave Holland. But anyway, we talked to all those people, and we reached 9,927 people to date right now.
That's 2/3 of this county.
27,000 is the population, David, in this county.
Actually, it's half.
Yeah, they can they can watch it on Facebook Live and YouTube, and also the Sheriff's Department webpage. Almost forgot about that one, Dave, for sure. So, yes.
Very important questions that the viewers asked.
Yes.
And you was a great commentary or
mediator. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Brought those questions out to all the.
I was hoping that Gordon was going to be able to come on because I was going to ask him a question about that one case.
Yeah. And I don't know how much he'd be able to answer of it.
Well, he should be able to answer this question, and I haven't heard anybody answer it officially. Okay. I've heard some people say what happened that come from pretty good sources, but nobody official has said that patient actually come from another county to Bradford County with the coronavirus. And I heard that they went from one nursing home to another. But I don't have all the information on that from an official. Yeah. So I don't. Have any of you guys heard?
I have not, and I would. I don't know without it being confirmed from some sort of.
And that's why.
Yeah.
That's why. And I'm going to ask him that because we need to know. Because if that person did not come from another area, what you're going to do is you're going to end up seeing more cases in Bradford County.
Right.
Because it had to come from somewhere.
That is correct.
So if it originated in Bradford County, somebody else is in Bradford County's contaminated with the virus and had to give it to that person.
Well, I would think if it was originated in Bradford County, we would have already seen it.
Well, more numbers.
More numbers.
Since that was a week ago?
Almost a week ago.
That was right at a week Saturday, right? Because it came out on Sunday.
Sunday.
It came out Sunday at 6 o'clock, so not even a week.
It's not even quite a week, but still, you would still.
County is we're a small unit here, and everybody understands what's going on, so stay home.
Right. Yeah, and David brings up a good point here. I know some of our listeners lives in small towns in the southeastern United States. That's probably got about the same population as us, maybe a little bit more. Take heed to what the CDC is saying. Stay at home, practice social distancing, wash your hands, do the right things. And me and Byron's going to get into some other subjects here a little bit. Yeah, Byron, could you give me a little bit of that, please, sir? Just touch my face. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, so we're practicing the right things, ladies and gentlemen. So anyway, we're going to get on to a couple of comments here, a couple of more comments, David. Yes, if you're 65 and have medical conditions, please stay at home. Let's see, still need to speak louder, lots of laughs. Byron, I don't know what's going on, brother. They're saying you're still low, and the mic's right here.
I don't understand that because I was pegging it a while ago.
You were pegging it, man.
Weird.
Go sing me a tune. Sing me a note. Sing me a note. Come on, sing me a note. Sing me a note, please.
What you want to hear?
Just anything. Sing what you were singing a while ago.
Well, which one?
Well, let me see. The Carlos Santana thing.
Play by Carlos Santana.
Did you hear that? It's peaking. Okay.
Maria, Maria, fell in love with Estevez, growing up in Spanish Harlem. She living a life just like a movie star. Oh, Maria, Maria.
I bet y'all heard that. Great job, brother, man. Great job.
Are you guys on your meds?
No. And I see that Billy ain't either.
I refuse to be on my meds tonight. It's been too long
It's
since
been
I've
too long
since
since I've been on the show. We did it, but got stopped at the checkpoint at the state line. Yeah, there is going to be checkpoints. I did see some stuff that came over the DOR today from Mitchell Gunner. Did you see some of that?
Which one?
So there's going to be some DOR checkpoints, boaters going to lakes and things like that. Oh, yes, there is. And you better be careful because they're going to stop you. They're probably going to be nice the first time and tell you to head on back to the house.
We can't go to lakes?
Can't go to lakes. Yeah. You ain't going to be able to go to lakes.
How are you going to catch COVID-19 on a lake fishing?
Well, you got a little into. Okay. Anyway,
how are you supposed to do
I know it.
That doesn't make any sense.
I think they're
at
meaning
all.
like Kingsley, like you know what I mean. Where there's a bunch
you're
of
talking about
Kingsley, like boating and recreation.
Oh, no.
Don't be telling everybody our secret.
Lord.
All right. What is the limit of people that can be in a church at this time? That is a very good question.
The limit of people that can be in a church
50.
is supposed to be 50.
And you got to be 6 feet apart, is what I hear, right? The social distance is 6 feet apart. So if you're sitting in a pew, I guess, Byron, we'd have to be about this far apart, wouldn't we?
A little bit further?
A little further?
A little bit further?
Further?
Okay, you good.
Am I good? So, it is 50, I do believe, Ralph. I will find that out for certain, but I think it's 50 people at any kind of congregation or any kind of event.
They've been talking about numbers like 20 and 10.
And 10, yes, they have.
I wouldn't recommend being around a group of 50 people. I'm sorry. I wouldn't recommend doing that.
Right.
What I would recommend doing is watch these podcasts that these churches are doing.
Yes, they
They're
are.
on Facebook Lives and giving the service without the
a couple of good sermons on there too, by the
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
I mean, even from some of our local churches,
Yes.
there's been. Oh my goodness!
So you've got the opportunity to do that. I wouldn't get more than 10 people together.
Yeah,
I just wouldn't, because what you're doing is you're taking a chance that somebody has this and doesn't realize that they have it.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, you've got 10 of your good friends that have the coronavirus.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but I would feel terrible if I brought that back to any of us or any of my family or anything else. So use your head about what you're doing with that stuff.
Byron, they say they can hear you fine. I don't know. Maybe it's Becky's phone or something.
No,
It could be. I don't know. When you sit back on the chair, Byron, your voice is not that loud.
oh, okay. So when I get further away from the microphone is when it's happening.
My hay fever and allergies keep causing troubles with some medical askers over sneezing and coughing. Note, I don't have the Wuhan virus. Well, here's the problem. No, if you're out there and you're sneezing it up at a convenience store, a grocery store, whatever, everybody's panicking. Everybody is so afraid of this thing. That's the first thing they're going to think. And by the time you explain, you've already got an earful.
Yeah. Mary Ellen, that's what's happening in a lot of different places. There's a couple that are going on in Putnam County now too, and the majority of them are in nursing homes. So what you're seeing is somebody come in, and then the older patients are getting it, and they're putting them in quarantine.
Right.
So it's not leaving the nursing home.
I'm not understanding this, Dave. Do you want to check the volume levels? We're getting mixed reactions on Byron here. She says, I have my volume up all the way on my phone, and I just can't hear Byron. And she's got a sad face because she wants to hear what Byron says. He starts out loud, and then the voice tapers off. That is weird.
That is strange.
We've never had that.
Are they hearing you okay?
Are you hearing me okay? Can you give me a thumbs up? I know mine and Byron's voice got a little different inflection, but can you hear me okay? Thumbs up if you can hear me. I'm not hearing anybody say that or seeing anybody say that. If you can hear me, give thumbs up or likes or whatever, just so we know.
Could be just his Rep Butler voice,
But, I mean, we've never had any issue with that ever.
Rep
Butler.
I'll take that too. Frankly, my dear.
Okay, so they can hear me fine. So I'm not sure what's going on.
It's Byron.
So do you have the coronavirus?
No.
Thank God.
Yes.
Yeah. The day that I have it will be next year. Okay. Yes, he does need to speak up. Even Mama says it.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy when Mama says it.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
How about now? Is that better, guys?
Yeah,
Can y'all
that
hear
way.
me now?
Okay. Now we got the thumbs up
Okay.
and stuff coming. All right. So I guess my voice will have to carry from here, Byron.
Okay.
All right. Then they're going to say, no, I can't hear Dave.
Now you can't hear David. Yeah. Hold
What
on
does
for a
Jason
second.
Bond
We
say
may be
there?
able to fix this a little bit.
Need alerts for who has
Don't
toilet
let me-
paper for sale. I'm glad that you asked that, Jason Vaught, because you know what, Sarge? I did look this up. Right now. Walmart, probably not no more, had a few on the shelf. Dollar Generals, the one in Lottie and the one here on Market Road, they had some. They had a nice set. It ain't the greatest, but it's toilet paper. You may be wiping with one ply, but anyway. Yeah.
I don't need to do that tonight.
Yeah, no, you better not do that.
No.
Oh, man. Where's Ahmed when you need him?
That wasn't Ahmed.
No, I know who that was. Yeah. Who are you? Are you Beavis or Butthead?
It doesn't matter.
You want to be
I'm
Beavis?
the great Cornholio.
I know who you are now. But anyway, so there's some places. Just got to look around. Hey, and you can buy it online.
Oh, yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
If you want to get gouged.
Oh, boy. You ain't kidding. And I told you about what I felt about my gouging the other night, and I'm going to go back over that again. I know. Got to make friends with someone that works at Walmart.
Okay, guys, I'm going to tell you this. There was toilet paper in the CVS in Keystone Heights
about
this
that?
week.
Yeah.
You could only get one package,
Right.
but there was toilet paper.
Yep. And Byron got one package, and he wanted to get two, ladies and
No,
gentlemen.
Byron didn't either.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Byron, don't you lie. You wanted to get two. You brought it up there, and the lady says, Byron, I'll sell you two. One at $5.99. If you get the dual pack, it's $89.99. And you decide to put the other one back.
I decided to stick with it, the 96 rolls of toilet paper that I got about 3 months ago. The majority of it's still sitting in my shelf on my shelf. because I buy in bulk in case things ever happen like this. And when it starts to run out, I go buy in bulk again and then don't have to worry about it for 3 months.
And because you're never home, you're in your truck working.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the honest truth. I don't ever have to worry about stuff like that or paper towels because I buy stuff in bulk. And then I don't have to buy it every time I turn around.
Byron knows I was picking on him. That's what I.
You were talking about doing the
Yeah, the dual. Yeah, and I'll get into that.
I said, I need to go in business with you if we're going to do that.
Yes, we're going to do that. Yeah, okay. I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. Kimberly, thank you for joining us. Patricia Johnson, thank you for joining us. Welcome in. My name is David Rodgers, right along with Byron Bagwell, right along Mr. Dave Holland, right along with Roger the Tornado Cruz. We've got Mitchell Hunter. Reeling them in out there. No, he ain't on your lake. He's out there reeling in information.
Oh.
We got Michael Heater helping us out back here on the dispatch.
I thought it was Steve Hatchie or something.
Well, he's sort of close to Steve Hatchie.
Okay.
Yeah, we just can't give it. Real close.
Cross City?
You're almost nailing it.
Is he in Old Town?
He's in Old Town gathering us some information. Yeah. Okay.
There must be some sort of secret government installation in Old Town that I don't know about.
Well,
there is literally there literally is a Hardee's, 2 Jiffy stores, a grocery store, and a boat place.
That's right.
And a red light.
He is on covert ops. I'll just tell you that.
Dixie County is not where I would want to be in covert ops, a place I would want to be covert ops with.
So what? He's behind the Hardys. Anyway, hey, let's move on with the show.
Oh, I forgot.
Yes.
There's an outdoor place.
Yeah, there is.
Okay.
But he's behind the Hardys.
Behind the Hardys. Oh,
Anyway,
dear God.
Roger, if I get you to close that door for me, my man, I appreciate it. Here we go. Hey, Sandy, thank you for joining us, Old Town. I have a buddy out there. Yep. I imagine that you do. So anyway, let's get started really quick. I want to get into several things tonight. Again, been living in another galaxy, another planet, or somewhere besides here.
Yeah.
Main thing is what, Byron? Stimulus package?
Yeah.
And coronavirus.
Yeah.
Did I tell you could get rid of the coronavirus? I've got the cure.
No, but I can tell you how you can catch it.
How can you catch it?
Driving in the passing lane slower than the flow of traffic.
Really?
Yep, they discovered that's one of the things that's happening in Gainesville now.
Is that right?
That's why there's so many cases in Alachua County.
Can I ask you something?
It catches stupid.
I was going to ask you, who the hell's idea was that came up with that crap? Whoa. Goodness gracious alive.
I told you, David, it was going to be a show tonight.
Yeah, before the show gets off the dadgum rails, here we go. We'll wait for Mr. Dave Holland to come back in. He had to run and grab some a couple of things here. But I wanted to get into some things, Byron, and I know you have been on the show for a little while. I know you've been listening in on the last 3 shows about what we've been talking about.
Right.
We've hit it from total cases, which we're going to hit it. That book does not want to stand, does it?
No, it doesn't. Thomas Jefferson doesn't want to talk about coronavirus.
I guess he does. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he's rolling in his grave right now.
Maybe he's trying. He saw that stimulus package.
Yeah, stimulus package. He'd be rolling in his grave. But anyway, you've heard about what we've been talking about. We've talked about numbers of this thing, total, worldwide. We've got some numbers. We've talked about national numbers. We've talked about state numbers. We've talked regional numbers. We've talked about
world numbers. We've talked about everything.
Fault. Political aspects of this thing. I know you've been sitting back and listening to the shows that we've had, and I know that you said they've been very good shows, and we have missed you on here.
I appreciate that. I missed you guys too.
Absolutely.
And I missed the audience too.
Yeah, definitely missed the audience because you was on the other side.
I was on
on that, but you were still chiming in.
I couldn't even bring the old comment in.
Me and Mitchell was on a roll the other night, bro. As fast as we could say it, it was coming.
I'm still waiting for somebody to tell me where Ruth Bader Ginsburg is.
You've been asking that for months.
I've been asking that since before I was on the show.
Well, that's true, and I still didn't. I still ain't gave you an answer.
Found Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
But anyway,
that may be the cause of the coronavirus.
That could be
that
true.
Old bat.
Oh, you can't say that. We're shut down. Anyway, wanted to say that Mr. Mitchell Gunner's not here, but you've been listening in. You've been chiming in. Let me just before we get into some specific things.
Sure.
Days back, give me your overview of the last 3 shows that we've done. Some of the things that we've talked about. I know you wanted to interject on some of the things that we've talked about. Give me your overview take of this whole coronavirus thing, just from Byron Bagwell's aspect. Okay, from your opinion.
From my opinion.
From your opinion.
Okay.
I'm going to put you on the spot.
Sure.
And say, what do you think about what we've talked about, what you see going on about this coronavirus?
Well, they've talked, and we've talked
Yes.
since this was going on about the numbers, of course, and safety tips for it.
Right.
And we've talked about things like what you should and shouldn't do and whether we're going overboard. We talked about that for a while, too. And I think that we've done a very good job of explaining the numbers, and did an even better job by bringing on the officials that we brought on
Right.
to give official statistics from Bradford County.
Right.
Everybody did a great job. I know that people were having a hard time hearing the superintendent, but if you got the phone close enough to your ear, you could actually hear.
Right.
2 of those shows I didn't catch all of because it's really hard to drive down the road in a work van with oxygen tanks rattling around in the back of it and listen and be able to hear very closely to what's going on.
Right.
But as far as I could tell, those shows were done really well. My take on the coronavirus is pretty much the same take as everybody else's is. I really believe that we just need to be really, really careful right now.
Right.
And we need to contain the spread of it. I don't think we need to sit in homes and cower and not go anywhere and do anything. That is, unless you're ill,
Right.
Or unless you're over a certain age.
Right.
I would recommend doing that because the death rates in those 2 categories of people are high.
Right.
Don't touch people. Would be one suggestion.
Right.
Wash your hands constantly. Use hand sanitizer when you can't wash your hands. That's important. Don't use hand sanitizer all the time. It loses effectiveness. Okay. If you're going into anywhere that you think that you could come in contact with that, I would wear gloves. Medical gloves.
Talked about that.
When you go to take them off, pull one glove off, leave it inside out. Grab a hold of the other glove with the tips of your fingers with it, and try to get it off that way. If you can't get it off that way, keep the other glove on. Basically, this inside out, grabbing it inside out. Grab the bottom of it and pull it off your hand. That way, you don't touch the contaminated glove. Throw the gloves in the garbage can.
Right.
Then use hand sanitizer on your hands.
Right.
If you're going into a nursing home, which I don't believe you can in a lot of places anymore.
You can in the state of Florida right now.
In the state of Florida, they've completely
closed. Yes.
I thought that was the case. I wasn't sure because I'm immune to that because of my job.
Of your job.
If you're going into a nursing home.
If I can stop you right there.
Sure.
Some people, we've given our bios.
Right.
But tell everybody who you work for. Everybody says you're going to these nursing homes and they're going, what does Byron actually do? Maybe they forgot. Why don't you tell them what you do?
I work for Haven Hospice is what I do, and I deliver medical equipment to dying people is basically what I do.
Right.
I glove up, I mask up, I wear glasses. Feel like burning my clothes after I leave somebody.
I'm sure we talked about that before.
But
Absolutely.
that doesn't. I mean, it doesn't really do anything because if it's on your clothes, it's going through your clothes into your skin anyway.
Right.
But I'm in a business that exposes me more to it, and I do everything I possibly can to reduce the risks of me catching this.
Right.
And I feel pretty safe doing what I'm doing is keeping it away from me. There are things you can do to keep yourself away from this virus.
Right.
You just have to be careful, and you have to be safe, and you have to be smart about what you do.
Right.
And the biggest thing to me about this whole entire thing with the open public is not to panic.
Right.
Don't panic, because when you panic, you make bad choices.
Right.
I watched a video earlier today of a bunch of fools fighting over toilet paper and sanitizer and all sort of other things in grocery stores.
Yeah.
And my first thought right after I thought some very negative things about those people was really simple. That person that you just grabbed a hold of and was trying to wrestle to the ground, what if they have the coronavirus and you don't know about it?
Correct. Yep. Agree with that.
You just exposed yourself to it.
Yes, you sure have. Yep.
Whereas if you're 6 foot away from the person and you grab your toilet paper and you use hand sanitizer or you wash your hands when you get really well when you go home, guess what? It's gone.
It's gone.
If you want to take even further precaution, take the packages that you're getting at those places and wipe them down with disinfectant wipes.
Right.
So it's not on the package. If you think that's happening, then go back in and wash your hands. Wash your hands after everything you touch that you don't know about.
That's exactly right. Dave, do you have something, bud?
I just wanted to say to Brian, I think he's a hero. He seems to me like he's right there on the front lines, right along with the nurses.
I appreciate that, but I don't feel like a hero. I
See,
feel like
we talked about that, and I know, and I was going to say the same thing.
I really do.
He told me not to say that on the show, and you said,
I didn't hear that.
I really, Dave, I really do appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. I really do appreciate that, but I don't feel like one. I feel like
somebody's got to do it.
Somebody's got to do it, and I'm doing my job.
And you're facing the most critical age limit in this pandemic.
Well, and not only that, I'm facing places that actually have the coronavirus in them because I'm delivering to people in nursing homes.
Yeah.
And what ends up happening is they end up having patients quarantined with the coronavirus in them.
Well, me and Dave think you're a hero.
I appreciate that, gentlemen. I really do. But
the ones on the spot.
I am in there a very short period of time. The real heroes are the nurses and the doctors that are around these patients all the time.
Oh, yes.
I mean that's the real. I mean you want to talk about nerves of steel, and just having hearts. I mean because you're around that much, you are going to catch the coronavirus.
Sure you are. Yep.
Sooner or later, you're going to be exposed to it so much in one way or the other. You are going to be exposed. And I have nothing but utter respect for nurses and doctors.
Well, and here's, we all watch the media, we all watch news, we all follow social media. You see some of these stories about these doctors, these nurses, perfectly healthy, Byron, works out, does the right thing until this virus comes along, and now all of a sudden they catch it. Now they're sick. And you're hearing more and more doctors and nurses that are getting this thing. EMS people. Well, you're hearing a lot of this.
Here's the thing: this virus is not going to leave you unmarked. It scars your lungs. Is what it does.
Yes, it does. It's like pneumonia.
It's actually a little bit worse than pneumonia.
Yeah.
But it's going to scar your lungs, and it's going to leave you with a weakened immune system in your lungs the rest of your life, and that's part of the reason why they don't want you in contact and doing things like that. I still don't think we should stop living life. You cannot stop living life, but you have to be smart about the way you go about it.
Right.
If you were out in your yard chopping wood, as one of our friends was doing, making wood for your smoker, smoking food.
Right.
You're out at the lake fishing, and you're in a friend's boat, and you're 6 foot away from it. You're not catching the coronavirus.
No, you're not. And plus, you're outside on a 92-degree day.
Yeah,
possibly, depending on when you go fishing.
You're not catching the coronavirus doing things like that. You're not catching the coronavirus by talking to your friends at a safe distance. You're not going to catch the coronavirus if you know your friends don't have the coronavirus and you're sitting this close to them, talking to them.
Right.
So there are things you can do within reason to continue on living on with your life. Panicking is never the answer because panicking makes you make bad decisions.
Yep.
It makes a normal person that is intelligent make the worst decisions in the world. And that's not what you need to do right now because this may not kill you, but your granny that you go around,
your old aunt
who is 89 years old,
yep.
Grandkids.
Well, your grandkids more than likely won't die from it, but unless they have problems.
Right.
But it's still going to hurt their lungs. So I mean, you just want to be careful with it because you don't want to spread it. That's what they're trying to prevent. The mortality rate's not high, still not high on this, as far as we know. Don't know if the numbers are really accurate because there is a whole lot of different scenarios that are going on with this. Because the numbers of people who haven't been tested who are positive for it. Mm-hmm. Because what we have is we have a whole bunch of people who've had this. The symptoms weren't terribly bad. They thought it was the flu. They stayed at home for 3 or 4 days, and it was over with.
Right.
So we really don't know what the numbers are of people that have had it compared to the number of people who died from it.
Right.
And that came out of the mouth of a doctor that works for the CDC on a program I was listening to the other day. So I'm not saying that coming from just off the top of my head. That's actually from a doctor that was saying that. From another point and perspective of this, what's going on with this, to me, infuriates me still. Because we have a country that has either been negligent or has purposefully turned this loose on the entire world.
It's not this country, ladies and gentlemen, he's referring to.
It's China.
Yeah.
This is the China virus.
The Wuhan virus. Let's call it specifically.
It's the Wuhan China virus. Just like the African swine flu was the African swine flu. Just like MERS is Middle Eastern Respiratory Syndrome. Just like SARS and Spanish flu and everything else that's ever been named just about. Zika, which I kept on going on about the other day.
Yes, you did.
And look, guys, this is not racist. This is where the disease come from. That's how they classify viruses, right. Period. Right. But I'll classify it that because this is not our fault. This is not the world's fault. This is China's fault for playing games with a disease that comes from bats.
Right.
Because the coronavirus comes from bats. So does the other 2 or 3 strains of it that are out there.
Right.
By the way, this is not the first coronavirus.
No, it isn't.
And it's not there's not only just one. There's actually 2 strains of it now from this particular one. So.
Have you seen the diet over there in China?
Oh, it's terrible.
It's terrible.
They eat anything that walks.
Well, that's
Do you know why, Dave?
Because they have socialism. I'll answer that for you.
Well,
they have
communism.
Well, it's the same thing, David.
Yeah. Well, that step over there is under force.
One's bought by revolution, and the other one's bought by voting it in.
Yeah.
There's no difference. The system is exactly the same.
Yeah.
I mean, you take a look at the.
But they don't call themselves a socialistic nation.
What does the USSR stand for?
So, United Soviet something Republic. I forgot that third S. Socialism.
Socialist Republic.
Yeah.
A communist is a socialist.
Yeah.
And a socialist isn't a communist, but it's close.
Yeah.
If they get the wrong radical ideas,
here's the difference though. In China, and I agree with you. Here in China, you don't obey law,
they'll shoot you.
Correct.
Or run you over with tanks.
Right. That's the difference right there between the socialist part of it and the communist part of it. Well. And I understand what you're saying.
As a political philosophy, there is no difference at all.
Right.
And we forget this inside the United States because we're taught, it's all right.
Right.
Well, there's a difference between what we do or what we should be doing and what socialism is.
Right.
And we're going to talk a little bit more about that because I want to talk about the stimulus package because part of me is not happy.
Before we get into that stimulus
package, it's not just about what pork was in it and what's still in it. It's about the fact that we just passed $2.2 trillion that could be 6.3 if certain things happen.
Yeah, and me and you did the math, and we'll get into that here in a minute.
And I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to look at you, and I'm going to give you numbers of what you and the rest of the 330 million people that live in this country owe from the day you're born now.
Yeah.
And I'll give you the number after that for what we owe after the stimulus package.
Yes. And we figured, you remember those numbers? Remember what I gave you?
Oh, I know.
Okay.
I know. So, it's going to
it's going to
I'm going to tell you, sooner or later with all of this, the American populace has got to go and look at our government and go, I'm not paying you that back.
Right.
I'm not paying you that back.
And we'll get into that too. So anyway, I want to get into a couple of the comments here. Go up to Marie's comment there. Let's see. Right there. Up a little bit more. This is how Richard and I take off our gloves. Richard, I believe being her son, takes off our gloves when we are volunteering with CERT, Community Emergency Response Team, and helping the police and the firefighters. Just exactly as Byron said it. So.
Using general precautions with PPE.
Right.
Personal protective
Stephanie,
equipment.
thank you for joining us. Mitchell Gunner, 12 in Putnam County and 15 in Citrus County.
And I can tell you, I can't. I'll stop.
Yeah.
I can't say that. Sorry,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah,
I can't.
The doctors, nurses, first responders are our heroes. You are so right. Absolutely. I like that we have a burn ban and my neighbor has a bonfire.
Put it in a burn barrel, please, if you're going to do that.
If you're going to do that. Yeah, hey, well, anyway, or take your hose over there and go put it out and see what happens there. See you later. No, I'm not sure where you got to go, but you take care. Phil Jackson, Mitchell Gunner, man, where are you? Mitchell Gunner is on assignment behind the Hardys in Old Town. I'm just telling you. Hey, that's all I can say right now.
He's with Maria.
He's with me. Oh, boy.
But she didn't grow up in Spanish Harlem.
No, she didn't.
And she did not live her life like a movie star.
Yeah, no, she didn't. So,
well,
okay,
I'll fed you with that one.
Yeah, we'll leave that one alone there. Yeah. But anyway, keep going down.
Sorry, guys.
Keep going down there, Roger.
Oh my goodness,
I'm just trying to get Roger to get us down there a little bit. Call it like it is. Todd Gillenwaters, how you doing? What is the difference between the bats in China and the bats in the United States? Well,
that's a good question.
That's a good question. That is a good question, Maria. I like the question. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know. Do you?
People don't like the taste of them in the United States.
Maybe so. I guess.
And I'm not trying to be smart.
No.
I mean, they eat the things.
Yep.
I mean, the only person I've ever heard of eating a bat was Ozzy.
He bit the head off of one, didn't he?
Yeah, and then he paid for it,
and
too.
he paid for it, didn't he? Yeah, he did.
Back then, they didn't have the shots for rabies. They didn't just have one shot. They shot you in the knees and in the stomach and in the shoulders and everywhere else.
When did he do that? What year did he do that?
81?
82?
It was 81. It was either 80 or 81.
I don't know if the coronavirus was in effect then.
Hey, it was probably around, just not in the bats.
Just not in the bats.
Bats in the United States.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. We'll find out. That's a good question.
I can't believe I know that.
I do want to.
Actually,
say
I know a whole lot
about
that.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys knew, the teachers and the paras and the administration's going back to work Monday.
Yay!
Yeah, I know that Autumn and Shelley and a couple of the others that I talked to are ready to go back. A little stir crazy going in the house. But look, don't rush yourself to go back. I understand that they're asking you to go back. I know the schools have different times for different ones.
Right.
I know that like Southside supposedly is going to be working like 8:30 to 5:30. The high school and the middle school is going to be like working 8:30 to 1:30. Some people's going to be working 4 days a week, 5 days a week. Me and Byron was talking, and I want to stop right here, and we're going to get into the stimulus package and all that good stuff. Me and Byron was on a philosophical conversation the other night, and I asked Byron Bagwell, and Byron popped it right off, and I believe Mitchell and Dave did too as well. What is the most important commodity that an individual has? Byron already knows the answer. You know the answer. And what besides that? Time. Time is the most important commodity that you as people have. Let me tell you why. We're sitting here doing this show, right? We started at 7, a little after 7 o'clock. We're not going to never get that back. That's done. That is history. What we said there is done and gone. You cannot go and get that back. And I'm trying to make a parallel here. And me and Byron was talking about this. I'm getting stir crazy. Man, I want to, and I get you. Let me just real quick. I know.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, man. I know you wanted to interject there, and I want you to.
Go ahead.
So people are saying they're getting stir crazy at home. They don't want to be at home. I know where you're going, and I'm gonna let you have it here in a minute. I am, and I hear this, and people are messaging me. I'm ready to go back to work. I'm ready to do this, and I'm ready to do that. And it's the same people that has never bonded with their kids, has never spent family time with anybody. You know what I mean? Whether A, you don't want to, B, you may have issues, or C, you're working all the time. You pick any of those reasons. I know that this virus happened to make us and force us to do this, something we should be doing anyway, that we all gentlemen do, because I know your parents and I know we bond all the time.
See, I can't be around them right now.
So right, and that's exactly, and I knew that's what you, and that's exactly right. But I do want to say this. You are not going to get these couple of weeks back if you're having to go back to work. You're not going to get any of this time back. If you're asked to stay home, do something with your kids. Do something with your family. This is the time. If you got a difference with a family member, a friend, or whatever, this is the time to reach out to those people and go, hey, life's too short. Let's put this all behind us and let's move on. You know what I mean? Because I'm telling you, I was asking somebody the other day. I was asking this young lady the other day. I said, you know, she's going through some things, and I asked her the other day. I said, hey, have you spent any time with your kids or whatever? None. No time with her kids. 2 weeks off. No time with her kids. They hadn't played anything, done anything, and I'm going, man, this is the perfect time
with your family.
Yes, you are not going to get this back. I fully understand. We all have issues, but time is the most precious commodity that we have. And I'm telling you right now, you need to take every step and every bit of this that you can and spend time with your family, because you may not get this time back ever again, because we're going to get involved again, all of us, with our everyday lives, with our everyday challenges, with our everyday things.
David,
and you're just not going to get
tell
this
you,
back.
I'm afraid to go around my family.
Yeah,
right now.
But I mean, you can talk by phone.
Oh,
no,
that's not a problem.
Right.
But I'm afraid to go around my parents right now because of the job I do.
Right.
Because one day I could be perfectly fine, and the next day I could wake up and find out that I've got this mess because of where I go. Now, like I said, I'm real safe with it.
Right.
But that still doesn't mean that I couldn't catch the virus.
Right.
So I would feel terrible if my mother or my father caught it.
Right. And
if you've got family at home, spend time with your family.
And I'm going to put myself at the top of the pedestal. You know, I was talking about a couple of other people just then. I was the world's worst. You know, we all got something that we're doing. I've got this lawn business that I do. I do trivia on Thursday nights. I do this show twice a week. You know, I still got to mow grass somewhere. I still got a regular job.
Right.
So I'm busy 5-6 days a week. You're in the same thing. You've got a job you got to do. Your trial of balance of the show. You've got several other things. Trying to take care of a household. Dave, trying to run a business, trying to juggle his family, trying to juggle an outside life, trying to help others out. We all got busy lives, and I'll be the first one to tell you, these last couple of weeks for me, I was able to actually talk to my youngest daughter. I'm able to have conversations with her. So sometimes we just go, hello. Hey, Autumn, how you doing? Yeah. You know, and I'm gone. Where you going? I'm going to do the show. And I just take it for granted. I take it for granted.
Of course you do.
And now I can sit and we can talk, or hey, how's the day? How was your day? You know, talking to Shelly, how's your day? I mean, I haven't spent that kind of time. And also, not only time like that, but time for myself. To rest up a little bit.
Thank the good Lord.
Oh, my gosh, man.
This one here, if you think Guy run around or anybody else runs around, this one here, I think sleeps about an hour a night.
That's about right. If anybody knows me, I've told all you guys, hour, maybe two. Well, we've talked till 1:30 in the morning. I say, Byron, I got to get up and go to work. 3:30 in the morning.
Especially when
Yep.
Sports is in session.
In session. Yeah, I
Lord.
didn't even think about being the voice of the Tornadoes. Yeah, those Friday nights. That's
Thursday
Friday night.
Trivia. The weekend.
Cutting grass. The
Working
show.
all day.
The show. Yeah. So,
Show.
so
Tuesday and
this
Saturday.
last couple of weeks, it's really made me think back and go, man, do I just relish the time that I've had here? And like Byron said, I understand, Byron's parents are a little older, and I can get that because of what he does. But I know this. Hey, I just talked to my mom and dad on the phone. I
did.
just talked to
Matter
talked
of
to
fact,
the
I
wife.
talked to him earlier
Early,
today
yeah.
after I got off the phone with you.
Right. Because
I talked to him once or twice a
take
day.
it- yeah, you take
I
that
talked to
time.
him once or twice a day.
Yes. And so, yes, Renee, I see. Speaking of busy, yeah, and that's what we're talking about right now.
Please go down just to back up just a little bit, Roger. There's two comments that we need to get to there.
Was that about time?
Keep on going. Keep on going. Yeah, keep on going. Yeah, keep on going. Right there. There's the first one that we need to say because it's
Thank
got
you,
somebody
Byron,
else.
for what you do every day to all who
And
work in
I
the
didn't
medical
mean for you
field.
to read the Byron part of it.
Also, thanks to our truck drivers and store workers.
That's
the one.
The
Yes.
medical field and the truck drivers and the store workers. Without truck drivers, none of this happens.
That's
at all.
exactly. That's
There's
exactly
nothing
right.
on the shelves anywhere.
Anywhere.
There's no gasoline. There's no anything. There's no cars. The truck drivers are.
I want to add railroad guys in there.
Yeah.
Warehouse workers, the people in those major warehouses, all those guys are today's American heroes. I can tell you, right along with our first responders and everybody else, our medical field, just like Miss Bagwell said, absolutely. So, hey, if you've got a chance, and I know I'm going back on this time thing in a minute, if you've got a chance to help a truck driver out, please do. If he needs to pull in a center lane in front of McDonald's, don't honk your horn at him and call him a whatever name in the book. That man is trying to get back to get groceries back in that truck to get back here to put in stores.
Sure.
So help the man out. Why don't you go buy him a hamburger? That's what we should do, and a cold drink. You know what I mean? Yeah, let him in front of the line. Open the door for him, man. Good grief, man. Come on, man. This is just simple stuff. As Americans and as humans, we should be doing anyway.
Do it in the first place.
And we have to wait for a tragedy to happen before we start thanking these kind of people. Isn't that the way things work?
Mainstream news have been talking about how we're kind of going through a reset.
Mm-hmm.
A change here. And this coronavirus has kind of pushed us in that direction, but kind of a reset on the family value thing.
Yeah, and there's another reset that's going on too.
Yes, there is.
And that reset is real simple. Mm-hmm. Mother Nature has reinstituted, guess what? Natural selection. Don't be dumb.
Exactly.
Because this stuff will get you and it will not be good.
No, it won't. Crystal says, of course, I want everything to be okay, but I'm thoroughly enjoying my time with my kids and that we are safe at home. That's
right.
what you should be doing. That's exactly right. So I know someone who works all the time. It's almost 24/7. That sounds about like me. Just about, or you. And
family is the most important thing in the world.
huh?
How do you know somebody like
Yeah, that.
Always
Yeah, I was
gone?
just going to always gone. Yeah, how do you know somebody like that? Think about this. There are no sports, no concerts, no malls. Families now have time to spend with each other. I think God is looking down saying it's about time. Lisa Ann, you're not going to get no argument out of me on that.
You know God made bats.
Yep, he did make bats, though. Yes, I did, Mitchell. I did read some of them off. I didn't get the full set. If you run a full set, I didn't get those. Kurt, thank you for joining us. I seen Kenny join us a while ago.
Program, yeah.
The online grocery pickup program is crazy busy. Yes, they are.
I imagine so.
Imagine so. We rock 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. 7 days a week. Wow.
So food bank in town.
Yes.
I was going over there for Friday to help Angie out. She's quarantined into her house, have been for almost 2 weeks now.
Right.
I rolled up. The parking lot at the fairground was packed full of cars. they're only passing out food to 200
Yep.
people.
Right.
And there was probably about 120 cars in there when I got there. And it was over by the time I got back, but that was like 3 o'clock. I just want to say, these guys are working their butt off.
Yes, they
food
are.
To the people
Did
that
she
need
get
it.
Did she get the food she needed?
If you don't need
you
it,
go back, Roger,
don't
real
get
quick?
in line. Take what you have extra over there so that they can give it to the people
That do need it. Yeah. Can you go back real quick, Roger?
Dave,
I
did she get her food? Did you get her food?
So
Talk to me after the show.
go.
I know another place you can go.
And I do too, and I told him as well.
And before I tell the whole audience, I want to make sure that it's all right with this church and this group that
Yeah.
I tell every single body in
Yeah.
The sheriff's department,
Online.
I called them to see if maybe they could help me out. And what they could do, they gave me 2 cases of water.
Stop right there, Roger. There was some in Utah that got their truck wheels locked because they were in a Walmart parking lot because the truck stops were full. He says that tees him off.
Of course it does.
Of course it does. It messes that tees us off
Well,
too.
I mean, you're halting businesses. What
Businesses,
you're doing,
yes, exactly
doing with
what
that.
you're doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dylan Rogers, thank you for joining us. Renee says things happen in a certain way for a reason, and I can't read the rest of it right there. We may not like it, but we've got to learn to deal with it. So, yes, I fully agree what we've been talking about. Mitchell Gunner, 64 cases in Alachua County right now. And you're all through there, brother, all through it.
Yeah, I'm about to stay out of Alachua County.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't like the People's Republic anyway.
There you go. Jerry Carpenter just joined us. He works with me out there in Lake City, out at New Millennium. Mitchell Gunner, 114 in Duval.
All on the
She's
north
asking
side.
you, Dave, to speak up as well, but you're away from the mic. That's why. That's okay. Yeah, we got him. Dave's got a deep voice too, so shouldn't hurt there as well. But just again to reference on the timing, and we'll get into that a little bit. I know we're getting up into the show here, and we definitely want to get into what we talked about, the stimulus package, and some of the things involved with it, some of the things that got slid into it, and what the American people don't know as far as a dollar amount. And we're going to get into that.
This is going to be really, really
You better
a
stay tuned.
shocking fact. Because
Yes.
we're going to give you the amount of money that you owed before this, and then we're going to give you the amount of money that you owe now.
Now.
And I'm not talking about any age group. I'm not talking about any race.
No.
I'm not talking about male or female
you're
or
not.
he, she, it, whatever you want to call yourself.
You're not even talking political preference,
I'm
right?
not even talking political preference. I'm
No.
talking about all 330 million Americans. What you owe our what our federal government owes
yeah.
that we have to pay for, because you really don't owe your federal government, but through something called taxation, which is legalized theft. Anyway,
Yeah.
but
Jay Sarge is laughing his tail off. He says, the People's Republic.
yeah, that's my pet nickname for that
That place?
socialist cesspool in Gainesville.
Anyway, glad that you could join us for On the Spot with David.
You can tell I like Gainesville, can't you?
Just a little bit?
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
There you go. But anyway, glad that you could join us for On the Spot with David Rodgers. I'm your host, David Rodgers.
High Springs and Fort White. Well, High Springs, you're all right.
You're all right in High Springs.
I can deal with Newberry too.
With Newberry, yeah.
I think Archer's in there too, and I can deal with those two. But
How about Williston?
Williston sketchy.
Okay.
I can deal with Williston too, and I can deal with Micanopy too.
All right.
I can also deal with Orange Heights and Windsor and all of that stuff.
Have you been to Micanopy?
Yeah, I've been to Micanopy.
Have you been off that exit right there in Micanopy?
I drove right by it the other day.
Did you?
Yes, I did. Driving home from Archer, believe it or not.
Did you see my car there?
No, I did not.
Thank God.
I wasn't paying attention to where was
you
in that
sure?
parking lot.
Oh,
No.
okay. All right, Dave.
That place scares me.
Hey, you ever been over there?
Where?
That exit off of Micanopy right there?
Yeah.
Have you? Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, Byron's seen your car there, by the way.
That exit.
That exit.
Isn't that where they shot the movie?
Jason, that's it. Jason, that's exactly right. The Bass Pro Shop. You're right.
Jason, there is two good things about Gainesville.
Yeah.
Three good things about Gainesville. Well, it used to be three good things about Gainesville. The music store that I used to like to go to there.
Right.
That had vintage instruments is not there any longer, so that's not there. Bass Pro Shops is one of them.
Right.
And the other thing is they've got two bowling alleys.
Right.
Yeah, don't they have an orange stand there too? Good old Florida oranges.
I can get that from Brown's down 16 in between Melrose and there. Actually, that's in between Melrose and Windsor on 26.
On 26.
When I say that Windsor, nobody has a clue where that is, I don't think.
All right. Byron Bagwell.
Yes, sir.
Let's get into this coronavirus stimulus package.
You mean the Wuhan virus?
Yeah, let's just go back and the Wuhan virus stimulus package.
Uh-huh.
Man, it sounds great, man. Wonderful, Byron. My goodness, man, I'm going to get some cash. Guess what, brother? I like cash.
I'm going to take it. It's my money.
It's my money. Hey.
And that sounds like the government owes me something. The government doesn't owe me anything.
Don't know say anything.
Know why?
I know why.
Because it's our money. They're giving back to us. Actually, no, it's not, ladies and gentlemen. And we're about to explain exactly what we're talking about.
We just made it funny right there.
When we say no, we're not.
No.
Because I'm going to tell you, and this figure is a little bit old, so it's probably higher than this now.
Correct.
Because the debt marker goes up every single day.
Yes, it does.
But back in when the last stimulus package was passed,
correct,
each man, woman, and child, and every person born in the United States owed the federal government $63,000.
Let me write that down now.
From the time they were born. $63,000. Because to cover the debt. Because they keep on spending money like a bunch of, pardon me, drunken sailors.
They print it as fast. We print it as fast as we can print it. That's how fast it's being spent.
So what we do is we have a problem with the coronavirus. Something needs to be done. Something really needs to be done about it. You're absolutely right. There are people out there that have lost their jobs. There are businesses that could go under, and we don't want the economy to collapse.
Right.
There are big businesses that need assistance also because they can go under just as easily as small businesses can, and sometimes easier. Places like the airline industry that have no business at all right now because people are scared after death to fly.
Right.
So we have to do something about it.
Right.
So they pass a $2.2 trillion stimulus package. Okay?
Yes, they did.
$2.2
trillion now.
Trillion dollar stimulus package. Going to give every American that makes under $100,000 $1,200.
Yep.
Going to give everybody that makes over that between $100,000 and $150,000 basically for $5 for every $100 they make over. They're less than the $1,200. In other words, they're going to take out $500 for every $100.
Right.
$5 for every $100 that they make over it. So,
Byron, before you keep going, remember that $63,000 number. Now you got to remember that. So because we're fixing to give you some more.
Let me just go ahead and explain what's going on just a little bit. Okay. So they've given federal aid to the states for emergency funds. They've given federal aid to the hospitals.
Yep.
Like I said, they've given federal aid to a bunch of different places with the different businesses. They can get loans at discounted rates. They've done things like reduce interest rates. They've also done things like give tax breaks.
Right.
Which is all good things in this. Really good things. And they've done things like fund the Kennedy Foundation.
Right.
And does that have anything to do with Corona?
Wait a minute.
Have anything to do at all with
Hang on a minute. Hang on just a second.
Just $75 million to the Kennedy Foundation?
Hang on.
To
I've got it.
To an opera house?
I've got it. Hang on a minute.
Can y'all tell me if $75
No,
million?
look, I've got it right. No.
Does that have anything to do with that?
No. I got it. No. It says
Why
no.
are we paying $75 million to an opera house during a health crisis? I'm looking at you people out there, and I want an explanation for it.
Yeah.
Because I, for the life of me, can't figure out why we're doing that other than the Congress want their jobs and their power. And I can tell you this, I would sooner vote for a rattlesnake and pick it up and take it up to Congress without anything on it but my bare hands than vote for a Democrat up there again after this. There's only one way I do it. And that's Jesus Christ came down out of the heavens and told me, Byron, you need to vote for a Democrat. And then I'd vote for a Democrat. But there's no other way in the world I'm going to do it after this. Yeah. Look, they just use this disaster as a political tool to get what they wanted. Because they knew that if the Republicans said, you can't have it, give us a clean bill, you can't have it, then they wouldn't pass it. And it wouldn't get signed, and the Americans wouldn't get relief, and then they could run their little, the Republicans want you dead ads. They want to push Grandpa off the cliff. They want to do all of this stuff so they can take back control of the Senate and the presidency. That's the exact reason that they've done this.
Right.
The other reason that they did is because they knew if the Republicans did sign it, they would get their way. The Kennedy's Foundation is not the only thing that they've done, David, with that.
Oh, I know.
Do you know what else they did with that?
Absolutely, I do.
Do you know that? Where did it go? Let me see if I can't find this.
Yeah,
this
see if
little
you can find it. There it is, right there.
$350 million from immigration and refugee assistance.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're throwing this at you.
$500 million. That's $500 million that we're spending on migration and refugee assistance in the middle of a health crisis. Why are the borders not completely closed down? Why are they not screaming the borders need to be closed down? You don't know what these people have. How many times have I sit down this show and said, we don't know if these people have an antibiotic-resistant strain of TB? I've said that before on this show. Or something else that's bad.
Right.
Like this virus. But
Yep.
we're going to give them we're going to give them $500 million in assistance. I'd like to ship every one of them, single one of them, to Nancy Pelosi's house. $100 million to NASA. Now, normally I would not bat an eyelash
on the
about
space program.
$100 million on the space program.
No, I would not.
At all.
Me neither.
But why are we spending $100 million
now.
on the space program unless they have scientists working on the coronavirus? Why are we doing that? And nobody can explain to me where the money is going. I haven't been able to find out where that money, that particular one went. Because I looked at that and went, I got to have scientists working on this. And then nobody can explain to me where it's going to, which means it's going into somebody's pocket. $75 million for a news organization. Public Broadcasting Service and NPR.
Which I don't have a problem with public broadcasting.
$75 million. I do. During the middle of this coronavirus, I do.
Right, in the middle of this virus. Normally, I don't.
I do.
So
I have a problem with that figure completely.
No, I'm talking about if the coronavirus wasn't.
I have a problem with $75 million.
Okay.
Completely.
Tell me why.
Because you know how many fundraisers they do and how much money they get off of fundraisers?
Right. I got you. Apparently, not enough.
75 each for the National Endowment of the Arts and Humanities. $75 million. I'm an arts guy. I'm a musician. I've played music all my life. I love music. I love the arts. But we are paying the endowment for the arts and humanities $75 million a piece.
Yeah.
And then the last one is $25 million to the Kennedy Center. Why are we funding an opera house with $25 million?
Don't they sell tickets?
I don't care what they do. Dave,
That's where their
this
money's
whole
supposed to come
entire
from.
list that I just gave you is what was shoved into this bill and added in because these people wanted to line the pockets of their constituents.
Right. Agreed.
Excuse me, their lobbyists is really what they wanted to do.
Right.
And they wanted to use it as a political tool. And it's time the American public sent a message to them about things like this during this time. We did it with the Tea Party at one point, and we weren't in a crisis. It's time to tell them again, you're not welcome in Congress. Quite frankly, none of them to me are welcome inside the United States because that's about the most un-American crap I have ever heard in my life. When Americans are dying, you're using them as a political tool?
Now,
I mean, that's pure disgraceful, David. That's
oh,
disgraceful.
I agree.
I mean, that infuriates me what these people have done with this.
I want to go back to...
I wouldn't spit on Nancy Pelosi. She was on fire.
And you're right. Now, I want to go back to something right there. Usually agree with you with everything. Pretty much. And we look at the same thing. I want to disagree with you about the PBS. And let me tell you, in the middle of a coronavirus, yes, absolutely no money. PBS, though, has some great programming on there.
Where you're going.
And some really original, great, and even for kids programming as well.
David.
But I'm with you. They do a lot of fundraisers.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Do you know how much they were funded at the beginning of this year anyway?
No, then I was going to ask that number. I don't know how much funding was there, and
It was more than $75 million.
Okay, well, where's your money at then? Okay, I'll agree with that. But that was the others I could care less about. But the PBS, I haven't.
David, I care about the humanities and the arts.
And the arts, of course,
I really do.
of course.
That's actually you actually have the mandate in the Constitution to take care of that.
Yes, you do.
Okay,
Right.
but you don't do that in the middle of this. That tells
Right.
me somebody's lobbyist
Right.
got what they wanted. That is exactly what happened with this.
Right.
And there's actually about 7 or 8 more things that they actually wanted that the Republicans wouldn't cave into. And the reason that it took so long is because they kept on adding more stuff and more stuff and more stuff from the new Green Deal.
Right.
And that bunch of dingbats that wrote that mess.
Did you
I'm sorry. I'm coming off very, very hostile tonight because I knew I was going to get this way when I talked about this. Because they're using you, not just Republicans.
You, the American person,
the American
people.
They're
Right.
using you as a political pawn in the middle of a health crisis. I think she should. I can't say that.
No,
I can't say that.
No, we may get kicked off the air for that one. But anyway, no, what Byron exactly says, I agree with, and I think all you guys agree with. We differ on a couple of little things, but you know what? At the end of the day, we see each other, but they're using us. We're the American people. I don't care.
They're using.
I'm part of the Whig Party.
all
It
of us.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what party affiliation. It doesn't matter if you're black, green, white, yellow, purple, blue.
Okay, guys. Now that we've talked
matter.
a little bit about that, they've done some really good stuff with it. A lot of them, the funds are going to places they should go into, and they should have passed this.
Right.
But I have a problem with it.
Right.
You know what that problem is? You know that $63,000 total that we told every single person that that they owed from the time they were born?
63,000.
Do you know what the total for that becomes after this stimulus package?
Let me add it. Here you go, Byron. I had it.
David Rodgers is adding it up for us.
Yeah. And I got the number right there, Byron. You want to tell him? It's right there.
$84,000. $84,000
Yep.
in your lifetime
In your lifetime. Yep.
that you owe them. Not really, like I said, but
no,
but
they,
you
you
owe,
know.
you they're ruining our future. Not our future, but our grandkids' future.
Byron, do you have 84,000 in your account?
I have a steaming hot 30 caliber piece of lead for them. Is what I have.
Can I have two of them?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Yeah, let me. Yeah, I'm the second one on that. Are you kidding me?
Look,
Open your eyes, people.
part of the issue with this is not only that we owe this much money, but every time they do this and the debt goes up and up and up and up and up, the value of the dollar goes down.
Yes, it does.
If you want to be able to afford to do more things, the value of the dollar has to go up.
Yep.
Our debt can't go up.
Correct.
The value of a dollar has to increase.
Mm-hmm.
When I was growing up,
Excuse me.
you could buy a nice car for $4,000 or $5,000. $4,000 or $5,000.
And when I was growing up, Byron, you could buy it for $2,400. But that was back in the Pony Express days.
Now that was not that long ago.
It
David.
wasn't.
It
It
was
wasn't.
really that's not that long ago.
Ask your mom and dad. I guarantee you, they bought a car for that much money.
Yes, and now that same $24,000, let's say
$2,400 car.
$2,400 car that was a I don't know,
Let's call it
a Mercury Cougar,
How about a Chevy Impala?
a Chevy Impala.
Yeah, they're still around.
An old Chevy
Yeah,
Impala.
Yeah.
Now you're going to pay $40,000
Exactly. I was just going to say
for a
42 grand. Yep.
for a Chevy Impala, and you
Yep.
used to be able to buy one at $2,400.
100. Why is that, Byron? We talked about
Because
this. Tell the American-
because the value of the dollar is
deflated. It's gone into the tank.
Inflation has gone through the roof too. So look, there's ways to solve this. There's ways to help the American people. In the short term, in times like this, you need to be able to have the flexibility to do what they did.
Right.
But we don't have that flexibility.
Nope.
Not really. They're spending like people that don't
Doesn't
have
have
any
no
sense at all. I was
Told
going to
you.
say like drunken sailors, but even a drunken sailor wouldn't do this. Dave?
No, and I was drunk many times, and I would never do that.
I mean, they are ruining our country and our economy.
Yeah.
And guess who they're having to write that check to?
Mm-hmm.
They're taking this out from the Bank of China. The money is going back to the people that have caused this. Please, for the love of God, guys, think beyond what you're seeing. These people need this money. They don't have jobs.
They do.
They're having problems. But think beyond this, because if we don't fix this debt problem that we have, we're going to turn into Venezuela at some point. It's
Yep.
going to come crashing down. The socialists are going to come to the rescue and tell everybody that there's rainbows in the skies and unicorns, and they're going to believe them because the country is going to be a financial wreck.
Right.
And then we're going to be eating dogs out of dumpsters.
Yep.
I'm telling you, this happens to countries in history time after time after time after time. When they do this, we have to get our debt in order. We have to force our politicians to do this. And there's really simple ways to do it, too.
Yeah.
One is you look at them and tell them, are you going to vote for a balanced budget? And when they look at you and say no, you tell them you lost my vote. You're going to go up there and balance the budget. Somebody is going to go up there and pass a balanced budget amendment. And it's going to go through the Congress, and it's going to go through the Senate. And if enough people do that, then they'll work on the debt, and they'll balance the budgets from year to year to year to year to year. There's ways to do it. There's something called the penny plan that they're working on right now that's been around for a
Right.
while. There's things like the fair tax. That would basically eliminate a bunch of government bureaucracy,
Yeah.
create a surplus of money, and we wouldn't have to spend that money that's on those bureaucrats up
Correct.
there. And it would also take away the income tax from us, and we would never have to worry about that nonsense again.
Byron, can I add something just a little bit to what you're adding here a little bit?
Sure.
And Byron brings up a bunch of great points. And Byron researches a lot of this, and we talk about a lot of this. And I want to tell you guys something. If you don't think what Byron says is true, there's nations out there that are watching. watching.
Oh, yeah, if you don't think China's watching,
or it's
you're wrong.
watching, you're wrong. They want us, brothers, to self-implode. They want us to do exactly what Byron said.
And if you don't think Russia wouldn't love
Oh,
it.
ho, ho, ho. Russia would love to give us some payback, wouldn't they, bro? Oh, my goodness. Hey, and what if Russia...
If you think Putin is the Russian president, you're wrong.
You're wrong.
He's a KGB
agent.
That's what he is.
Yeah.
Once you're KGB, you're always KGB. You know that the Kremlin's still in Moscow. It's the USSR in Russia.
In Russia, yeah. Hey, and then you get, let's just say, China and Russia in collusion together, and we start doing this stuff, as Byron says, our economic functions start crashing, and we start not being able, as Byron said, to pay our debts, or people starts coming in and saying, hey, we want you to pay what you owe us. And the next thing you know, don't think it can't happen. Oh, they'll get a fight. But don't think it can't happen that we can get taken over.
Start speaking Chinese or Russian.
Yeah. Or
I would
Russian.
rather start speaking Russian than Chinese.
Yeah.
Because Chinese
So
is incredibly
don't, ladies
difficult
and
to speak,
gentlemen,
but neither one of them.
I don't want to speak neither one.
They'll put me in the ground before I speak.
Yeah, I'm
one
telling you,
in
I'm
the
going to fight
national
for this country, and I think every red-blooded American. And again, it's going to take more than just China, more than just Russia. It'd have to take both of them in collusion, maybe with North Korea, unless it, like Byron says before, it becomes a push-button war, and then all bets are off there.
It's going to matter.
It won't matter. Then it's not going to matter after that.
And by the way, before this stimulus package, $23.3
trillion.
Take a calculator and put the zeros behind it.
Yeah, sure. Let me see.
$23.3 trillion, now 25.2, no, 25.5?
Let me see. So,
6, 12.
15 zeros.
15 zeros, ladies and gentlemen.
God almighty.
Would that fit
It's not
in my
15
pocket?
zeros, is it?
No, I forgot to add 3 more here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15.
15 zeros.
Yep.
That's how come we owe $84,000 apiece. That's how you.
Yeah.
Look, it's your country. It's not theirs. They don't have the ability to do this unless you allow them to do this, and we allow them to do this. We have become so politically divided. We can't look at our government as a whole and go, "You can't do this." Sooner or later, if you make some of us Americans say, you can't do this, the government's not going to like the result of it.
No, it didn't.
So, and probably a bunch of people in the country won't either. But we need to stop this long before that happens, because we have the power to stop it, and we can stop it. Now, I've got up on my soapbox about the debt, and I haven't talked about that a whole lot.
No, you haven't.
That's going to destroy us. If we don't
It is
fix
going to
It's
destroy us. So we need to talk about that more
It's
often.
going to destroy us if we don't fix it. I don't have a problem with certain things in this stimulus package because it was needed.
It was.
What I have a problem with
is the way they did it, right?
Is the way they did it.
That's correct.
And the fact that they've stacked it up on top of $23.3
$3 trillion
that were already in
correct.
debt.
Right.
We don't have the money to do that.
We don't have the money to do that.
Let me give you an example, and this would be an example of this. I don't have the money to buy a Ford, Fiesta.
Right.
I don't think they make Ford Fiestas anymore, but
no.
Let's say I go to a used car lot and
they do make Priuses though.
Oh God, I did.
Oh God.
So I'm going to find my used Ford Fiesta, right?
Yep.
And I get there, and they have got a Bugatti. And I demand that they give me the Bugatti.
That's right.
Because my credit's good enough to buy that Bugatti.
That's right. Your credit's $850.
But I can only afford the payments on
the Fiesta.
On the Fiesta.
Right.
And the dummies give me the Bugatti
anyway. Yeah.
Or if you don't know what a Bugatti is, I'll use Lamborghini. Most people know
there you go.
Most people know what a Lamborghini is.
Yeah.
So I mean, That's the comparison. That's probably a bad comparison too.
Yeah. But no, but it's right there, though. You're exactly right.
That's what we're doing. Mm-hmm. These fools are taking out loans that we can't pay.
Correct.
I don't know about you. I can't pay the government $84,000 back.
No, I can't. I don't have it right now. Well, even if I had it, I don't want to pay it.
I mean, I can't do it.
No, you can't.
Look, think about some of the stuff, and I'm not trying to depress anybody any further than what's going on.
We got those numbers.
We want people to think. We want people to think about what they're doing with this, because I'm telling you guys, when you spend as much money as they just spent on the American public, you better be able to pay it back comfortably. I don't know how we're going to pay it back. I just don't know how we're going to do it.
I don't either. I don't know where that money's going to come from. And now that that stimulus package has been signed, and it's going to basically signed, sealed, delivered.
Oh, he signed it.
He signed it. Yeah.
And like I said, I don't have a problem with the money that's coming to me, because it's my money anyway. It's not the government's money.
Right.
But we've got to do something. We've got to start thinking now of how to reel these people in, because they're acting like complete and utter morons that don't think.
Right.
I just don't. I mean, and that's a pretty strong phrase for these people, and maybe I'm not giving them enough credit. Maybe they're not acting like complete and utter morons. Maybe they know exactly what they do. And they're just evil.
That's the other word.
Because they don't care, and all they care about is their power and their money, and the fact that what they're making and how comfortable a life it's going to lead for them, and their name they're going to leave in Washington, D.C.
Right.
I mean, it's got to be one of the two, because you can't look at $25 trillion in debt and go, oh, we can afford to keep on spending like that. I mean, you just can't.
Ladies and gentlemen.
It doesn't make any sense. It's like getting a credit card with a $10,000 limit and charging that $10,000 credit card up, and then going, oh, I've reached that limit. Let me get another one that's $10,000, and then charging that $10,000 up, and then going, let me get another one, and just keep on doing it over and over and over and over and over again until you get to a point where you can't make the payments.
You know,
that's what it's like.
The value of the dollar, ladies and gentlemen, back in the day, and it still should be. The problem is it isn't anymore.
It's backed with gold and silver.
Used to be backed with gold and silver.
Called the gold standard.
It's called the gold standard. That's exactly right. The problem is, ladies and gentlemen, we don't have enough gold and silver now. At least I know gold. I don't know about silver. Probably not, right? I would assume. I'd have to do some research. I don't know what's in Fort Knox. But I can tell you this. I can guarantee you it's not enough to back up that debt that we have right there. I can guarantee you we don't have enough gold bars, silver bars, anything like that to back up $23.3 trillion.
Please call your representatives and tell them that we cannot spend money like this. Like I said, you have to have some understanding about this particular stimulus package, minus that dumb crap that they slid in there.
Right.
Because of what's going on right now.
Right.
But the spending in general, like they're doing, has got to stop. It's got to stop.
Right.
Programs have to be slashed. There are things we have to quit paying for in this country. It's got to stop. Because if it doesn't, we're not going to have a future, or not much of one.
Right. I am going to get into that. I've got people, we're going to get into the worldwide cases of the coronavirus. We needed to get into this a little bit. Me and Byron's been talking about this, Mitchell and Dave as well. We wanted to let you know what was in that stimulus package, what that was all about. I'm going to get into some of these comments as well. But I wanted to get into the worldwide case before we get there, Byron, and then, of course, we'll go ahead and end the show here. You want to tell everybody total cases worldwide right there, what we got?
660,468. And yes, Carlton Jones, that is correct.
So, yes, Carlton, and we'll get into that as well. All right. Deaths worldwide right there. 30,646, Byron, worldwide deaths.
Hold that number for just a second.
Yeah. Oh, I know what you want to do. You're gonna give me a calculation?
What was the total number of people in the world again?
Oh, 7.7 billion now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
7.7.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yes. So if I believe that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros, 0.2377, I think. So how many? I said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros. So that's hundreds of thousands, right?
Yeah.
So that's 223 thousandths of a percent.
Of a percent.
Of
the
world population. That's not really anything compared to what the actual flu does. That flu number is bigger than that.
David,
there's a lot of things bigger than that. I know what you're going to say.
Be
Go ahead.
safe and don't panic.
Don't panic.
This is nonsense.
Yeah.
Turn off the media. I have not watched I watched 4 or 5 minutes of a news show because I knew something was coming on because I heard it on the radio.
Right. You're right.
Turn it off. Leave it alone. It's crazy. It's nuts.
Right.
How many of a percentage of people in the world have died?
Let's see. What did I say? 0.235. What was that? 7.23. If I did it right, 787 of a percent. Thousands
of a percent
of the world population.
Of the world population has died from the coronavirus.
Do you heard what we told you the world population was, right? 7.7 billion.
Billion.
Do you know how many China's got of it? I told you.
Million and a half.
Billion and a half. Let's call it a billion and a half. Yeah. China's got that of it. You know how many India's got of it? Almost another billion. Right at a billion.
Yeah. The two most populous countries
in the world.
Yep.
So between two countries, there's over 2 billion people in it, in two countries. That is absolutely nuts, isn't it? So, again, what else we got, Dave?
The Dark Lord bless you.
So the total recovery in the world today is what, Byron? Right now, world recovery rate.
That would be whoops. That would be a big whoops. I got the.
That would be a big whoops, ladies and gentlemen.
The recovery rate got covered up. By something.
There it goes.
It's 30,646.
Is that or is it that one? Yeah. Whoops. Trying to get there, I think. I'm not sure.
There we go.
There we go.
The lag finally caught up now.
Yeah.
141,464 people have recovered in the world.
In the world. So, number looks pretty good there, but still just
it's a higher percentage.
It's a higher percentage than the deaths. That's right. That's right.
The deaths are not even half.
No, not even half. So, all right. Now, deaths worldwide, we've already went that. Total cases in Florida, Byron, how many?
4,038.
Yep. Positive non-residents, how about that?
Florida 161.
161 of that number now, ladies.
By the way, I wanted to say something about a non-resident.
Okay, yes.
They got caught today coming in from New York who was positive for the coronavirus.
Really?
Come in on a flight.
How
he got on
that? JIA?
Come from probably...
where did he land? In JIA here?
Yeah, in Jacksonville.
No kidding.
Yep, had the coronavirus. Tested positive for it, knew he had it, got on a plane anyway, and come here. How he got on the plane, I don't know. How he didn't get caught, I don't know, in New York. But I do know this. They should put his rear end in jail for attempted murder.
Yep.
Of every single one of those people that were on that plane.
Yep.
Every single one of them. The man knew he had this stuff and did this anyway, whether it was through selfish nonsense or just because he's an evil little jerk. He belongs in a prison cell.
That's also an act of terrorism.
Yes.
It'd be an act of 45 ACP if he got around me with that and said, "Oh, I knew I had it. I'd shoot him."
Because you know what, ladies?
I would make a case for to stand your ground law in this state.
Now, guess what? That guy right there. Now you're talking about spending money and backtracking and time. Now we've got to go back to the very first of who he's been with when he knew he had this.
He knew he had it.
Right.
He knew he had it.
Right. So now the person that gave him his ticket, the person that's got his back. You got to go back all the way. All those people on that plane, everybody, the whole crew that was working that plane, airport that he was sitting around right there. Can you imagine the time and the work that would have to do that? You see what I'm saying? Can you imagine? Now we spend a lot of time and a lot of money for this one guy, knowing what he just did. He ought to have a jail cell or jail term. You're exactly right, for sure. I have no problem.
I have a better idea than that.
So, well, yeah.
I mean, that's not going to happen. But I'm telling you, if you come infect me on purpose, I'm going to spend some time in the same jail that you are.
Yes. Yeah. How many deaths there, Byron?
56.
56 Florida deaths.
56.
56.
Hey, how many people are in Florida?
Let's see. I'm trying to remember what the population of Florida is. What is the population of Florida?
I think it's around 3 million.
Is it 3 million? A little over 3.5. I know
give me just 1 second.
Let's see. Yeah, I think it's about 3.5. Yes, Billy Rayberg, you're off your meds. Are you watching the show tonight, by the way, Billy Rayberg? Good grief. Dave, let's get to some comments while Byron's doing that. Let's see here. Go back up to that million bears and billionaires
that
right
can't
there.
Be right.
Yeah. Let's see here. Carlton Jones, I still say this is America. If you go out of business, someone who has more money than you will pick up the shop and still sell what you had. If airlines go out of business, plenty of billionaires in this country buy up the planes and start up again. Absolutely right, Carlton Jones. Have no pride. Yeah, and you're exactly right. $25 million for the Kennedy Foundation. Yeah, we got into that. Austin, stop right there, Dave.
That's right. Hold on.
Okay, what do you have? Did you get the number?
This number's a lot more than I thought it was.
Oh, is it?
18 million.
18 million. Okay. So 56 deaths. Don't even do the math on that. There'll be too many zeros.
It's actually supposed to be 21.3. That must have been an old 21.3.
That's 2018. I don't know how much from there, but it's still, that number is going to be minute. Very minute, right? How many zeros is that going to have? I can't even think of right now on that.
I'm not calculating.
But anyway, Austin's got a theory about this, and Austin may put this out on his weather page about the coronavirus. Byron said that it came from bats, and it did. But Austin's got a little theory about the 5G on this thing, too, and how 5G affects this virus. And I've read what Austin's posted. I got to delve into it too much. That's why I don't want to get into it too much. I don't know a lot about it. I don't know if Byron does. I don't know a lot about it. But I'll research some of this, and we'll get with Austin. But he thinks that the 5G's got something to do with this.
You put radio waves through a human being's at certain frequencies, it messes with you.
It messes with you.
And that's what basically he's talking about, and it's what happens with 5G technology. The radio bands travel at a certain megahertz, or what they're talking about. It's a wavelength. Yeah. And what happens is when that wavelength enters your body, it messes with your system because you're sending radio waves through your system. Right. Sending radio waves through our systems through all sort of technology anyway.
Right.
But when it reaches a certain basically
bandwidth, yes.
What ends up happening is, or wavelength is what happens. It starts to adversely affecting your body.
Right.
And that's what he's talking about with 5G.
Right.
And it's very possible.
It's very possible.
It's very possible.
I don't discount it. I just don't know enough about it to talk about it.
I wouldn't think that our government would do that. Because there's a lot of really, really smart Americans out there, and if we found out that happened, there would be a whole lot of people in a deep plow.
Yep, you're right. Mitchell Gunner, that is correct. Yeah, they wanted 35 and they got 25. When we're all broke and homeless and starving, we're gonna need an opera house. Lots of Sarge. Maybe you're not from the other men's department. Dwight Allen, there's a buddy. I wonder how many of those chickens. There you go.
Is he a drill sergeant?
Huh?
You a drill sergeant?
No, he wasn't a drill sergeant, I don't think. But he was Sarge in the Marine Corps.
Oh, he was a Marine.
Yeah, he was a Marine. Yeah, he was a Marine. That's what I said. He was part of the other men's department. The Navy was the real men's department. He's the other men's department. You know what he told me yesterday? He said, y'all were just good for giving us rides.
Yeah.
That's true. Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, I love it, man. But you know what? I'd have Sargent's back any day, and he'd have mine. That's the way we all are.
Well,
we can joke and talk, but hey, when it comes down to it,
that's military in general.
That's it.
I was gonna say
we've all got each other's back. It don't matter if you're military or not. I've got your back. You've got mine.
And you know what the SEALs say about the Marines?
Oh yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah, here we go.
Go on down before I open that
How
can up.
much did Pelosi get? We're still trying to find that number out, Dwight Allen. Paying attention yet? Cheryl Stevens paying attention? Yeah.
Been paying attention for a long time.
Yeah, what did Dwight say? Man, I'll tell you what, man. That's good what he was cooking. Maybe he's going to tell us something.
Come on down.
Come on down, Roger, there a little bit on the comments there, big guy. Mr. Dwight Allen, come on down, man. You got to come down, Bobby. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Corrupt politicians screwing us as usual. Yep, that's exactly right, Dwight Allen. Dwight, man, I knew you was going to say that, Dwight, and I know this will be an argument that me and you have. And Byron must be clapping about that, too. I don't think it does. I think it's educational.
Well, I will give PBS credit.
So I think
they have some really good shows on that go into history.
I want to know why Dwight Allen thinks it sucks. I know what Dwight's going to say.
Because they're a bunch of leftists.
That's probably what he's going to say. That's what he's going to say.
Socialist communists.
Go socialist communists. But I do like the
programming. I know he already
said
NPR is communist garbage, which is basically true.
Yes.
But Dwight, I will give PBS credit for one thing.
Yeah.
When they do, I don't know, I haven't watched this in a long time, but when they used to do history.
Yes,
shows,
they still do.
When they used to, the majority of time they didn't put a spin on it.
Correct.
They really did not put spins on it at all.
Yeah.
That's like there was an episode which I won't go into because it's getting later. An episode about some African Americans going back to Africa trying to find out where they come from in Africa and how they ended up in America because their ancestors were slaves. They found out a whole bunch of things that they never knew before.
Right.
About how they got here. And it was really, really good. And it was very enlightening for them because they did not think the way they came here was the way they came here.
Right. There was a couple of else shows I liked on there. See, I'm a mystery guy, detective guy. I like Agatha Christie mysteries. That used to come on there quite a bit. Hercule Poirot used to come on there. And there was a show, a British show that I used to like that came on there, and it's something, How Can I Be Served or something like that. It was a comedy show from London. I used to like that. So,
wait a minute.
Dwight Allen, never mind.
Wait a minute.
Never mind. That used to be a long time ago.
The only thing that was good, pretty good, well, there was a couple of them that were pretty good. I can't remember the names of half of them. But one of the best shows that public radio ever, probably broadcasting service ever had was the Monty Python show.
I like that too.
I used to love Monty Python.
Do you know that's where Benny Hill started?
Yes, I do.
Yes, exactly right. So, Dwight, no, I agree, brother. I know what you're saying, and I know why you said that. I just like some of the programming on there.
You know, and some people like it. So
yeah.
And they do inform
you like
people.
It? You watch some of that? I like it. Yeah, it's all right.
Drop her out of an airplane
without a parachute.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, so.
Doctor Who. I can deal with Doctor Who, too.
Yeah,
I used to watch that when I was a kid.
What did Dwight say? I agree with you, Byron, on what? I guess on the...
he was talking about the nonsense.
Oh, yes. Probably. Yes, absolutely. Doctor Who fan, yeah. So, 3 channels, and that's exactly right.
The Democrats in the Congress in the Congress right now definitely need to go. Yeah. Every single one of them.
Yep. So, counting... Byron, I agree with you 100%. Yes, Dorothy Starlin, absolutely. Accounting statements on all the spending. Who sees these? I agree with David and Byron both, but let's see the expense statement.
While you're looking for the expense statements, find the ones that they paid these people off for the sexual harassment cases that weren't brought.
Right, we wouldn't even get into that. Yeah, there you go.
There is one out there.
Yep.
For the Congress and the Senate.
And the Senate. Yep.
Let's find those.
Let's find those. That even Stevie Wonder can see that is set for the blind looking for a D by someone's name. Better get over that affliction. We can't afford the dimwits or the media anymore. Johnny needs to face his day of reckoning when the smoke clears on this fiasco.
Austin Stevens is a way to do it without firing a shot.
That's exactly right, Austin Stevens.
There's a way to do it without firing a single shot.
Yep, and we talked about that. But seriously, how can Congress worry about all this other stuff, instead just come up with a bill that just deals with the virus?
Jason, and my thought was originally that is exactly what Donald Trump should have done. He should have come up there and said, they've got this in it. I'm not signing it. Send me a clean bill. But the problem is, if it keeps on going that way, the more political ammunition they have to fire back at the Republican Party that has the presidency in the Senate. So you're at a catch-22. You either do this nonsense or you lose seats in the Senate.
All right, look at there. Do you think I know Mom real well? Look at there. What did Mom say? My first car was a Chevy Impala. Oh,
yeah,
my goodness.
And I wanted the Monte Carlo.
You wanted the Monte Carlo. Yeah, I heard you told me that.
Yeah. They could have put that thing in a garage somewhere, and I'd have worked on that thing forever when I turned 16. Probably wrapped myself around a telephone pole.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's exactly right. Renee Stegall, I did that many a times. I'll tell you those stories off the air. And drunken sailors run out of money eventually. Boy, do they. I can tell you, never mind. Don't let me say that here.
I can tell you who you can go ask about this, but you'd have to go back a long time ago. You can go ask the Romans about what we're doing right now.
Yep.
You ever heard the term Cicero fiddles while Rome burns?
All right, what does Anthony Black got to say there, Roger? If you can scroll up a little bit here. We're getting ready to close up. How many cases of scotch is the American people buying for an? I'm not buying her anything. I don't know how many they bought.
Anthony Black, I can tell you this. She can keep away from the Glenfiddich. It's too good for her.
Yeah, there you go. Carlton Jones. We've talked about this many a times, even before this virus has come up. And let me tell you why. You want me to tell you why? Because people don't listen. People don't do their due diligence in researching the candidates that they're voting for. And guess what? And even when you do put them in, 9 times out of 10, I hate to say it, they become corrupt in some sort of form or fashion.
Well, David,
and it's because we're not holding anybody accountable anymore.
I'm going to be dead downright honest with you about why some of these people get voted in. And some of the people on the Republican side, too, because Republicans are capable of doing spending bills,
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
It's called selfishness.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's called selfishness, not only coming from the people that are in office, but from the people that are voting on them, because they know they'll give them exactly what they want. They just don't realize the consequences of what they want is going to destroy this country.
Yeah, I'm trying to get back there. I think we lost our place there a little bit. Did we lose our place, Roger, a little bit? All right, well, we'll start from right here. Angie Blakeman says the first infant just died, 1-year-old. If this was your child, would you still say what you are saying? So insensitive. I'm not sure what she's talking about there. I'm just saying that we all need to work together, and I don't know what she's meaning there about that. I thought we were all on the same page here and trying not to make it a political issue or
That's
anything
what it
like
is.
that. Yeah.
It's a political issue.
Yeah, but we're trying not to make it a political issue. We're trying to say, hey, we need to get this stuff taken care of. I don't care if you're a Democrat, Republican, left, right, black, white. We said all kinds of other colors. I don't care about your religion.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
See, the bottom line is we're all Americans.
Right.
And we need to have our government stop this.
Right.
And you know.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm going to be insensitive again.
Yeah.
You know what? Children die every day. Infants die every day.
Yeah.
I go see children in the job that I do.
Sure. Yes. It's not elderly patients. You deal with all kinds of patients.
And I understand that we're going through a health crisis now. But this child that's passed away is not the first patient that's passed away. And by the way, guys, they have drugs that are working on this now. I'm sorry to that infant's family, and I'm sorry that infant passed away.
Absolutely.
But I'm not going to stop saying things about what this government's doing just because an infant passed away.
Right.
There's going to be a whole lot more pass away if they keep on doing what they're doing.
And again, I'm not sure what she's meaning so insensitive. I mean, is she? I don't know who. We haven't been sensitive to anybody. We've just told the truth. We've given the numbers. We've told what we knew, and we spoke about what we think our government's doing and not doing to help fight this virus.
That's the bottom line to it.
Right.
We have to fight this virus.
That's exactly right.
We have to figure out drugs that are working on it, and they figured out two. The zithromycin is one of them that's working in some cases. And some of you may have heard of that before, because if you've ever had a sinus infection, azithromycin is one of the drugs that they will give you for that.
Right.
They also give it to you for different respiratory infections too.
They do, because when I had pneumonia, they gave me that same stuff.
And there's another one too, and I can't remember. I can't remember which one it is that's showing great results with people. It's curing people.
And I'll tell you another one too that seems sort of working too, and that was the vaccine for the malaria. The malaria, when you got malaria, I can't think of the name of it right now. I hate to even say. I'll get you that. I don't want to say what.
I don't remember what that one is.
They say that they're seeing some good results from that as well. So there's things going on and things happening that maybe eventually we'll have a vaccine for this and maybe possibly a cure down the road. Absolutely. And that's what we're trying to say here.
Sure.
So, Angie Rodgers, thank you for joining us. Miss, your mom said good night.
Good night, Mom.
Whatever you, well, you can't say what it is. Not to sound crazy, but if we put more stress on teaching history, both American and world, and tie them into math and English, we would be much better off.
Oh my goodness!
Oh my goodness!
Carlton Jones.
Yeah.
I can tell you that what they need to teach more than they need to teach history is they need to teach American government and economics.
Economics, yes. Knew a good teacher that taught that, by the way.
Yeah. Talk to him just about every day.
Yeah. I'll
say hello right up here at Bradford High
School. Yeah, really smart, very sharp. Maybe we can get him on the show one day. Hopefully he'll come on. Does he want to come on?
I'll have to talk to him.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how he's going to feel about that.
Yeah, he may not want to.
But I would love to get him in a certain science teacher.
Boy, hey, we'll just sit back and drink our drinks.
Once the fireworks go off.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I know it's getting late. We need to close off the show. Thank you guys for joining us. Want to get just doing a couple of things here. Number one, in the world of sports, as far as our local sports go, Byron, there is none.
I do have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
And we didn't. I was going to talk to you about this last night, and didn't get a chance to talk to you about it.
Okay.
Did you hear the Jaguars sign a new tight end?
Yes, they did.
And what was his name?
I know his name. You want to tell everybody?
His name is Eifert. And he came from
Cincinnati.
And he's a really
Tyler Eifert, if you don't know who we're talking about.
Really good tight end.
Look at Dave over there going, really?
Free agency is going on right now.
And that's what we're trying to make reference to.
There's some NFL players who are on the market right now, like Cam Newton.
Yep, Cam Newton.
And our boy from Florida State.
Yep. Hey.
Mr. Crablegs himself.
Yep. Now, Jacksonville is interested in both of these guys. Have you heard that?
I hope not.
Yes, they are. Not Jameis, more Cam than Jameis.
That's a mistake.
So,
and I'll tell you why. Number one, Cam is not the player Cam used to be.
Well, because of his hurt. I mean, he's got constantly hurt.
He's hurt. Mm-hmm. He's hurt. Mm-hmm. He's physically hurt.
Jameis Winston could be a great quarterback if he just had the tutelage and he had a little bit more. I think a lot of last year was his line.
True.
His line didn't. A lot of it. Now, a lot of it was on his own because I would see him carry that thing like a loaf of bread. Some defensive lineman would come slap it, and there's a fumble. You know, so when you go 30-30, that's 30 touchdowns. That's 30 interceptions. Not counting the fumbles he lost. Well, so, you know, he's Mr. Turnover, and I know nobody wants to take a chance on him. But you know what, though? The guy, when he wants to play in his own, we've seen it at Florida State.
Jameis Winston
is a good quarterback. Yes, he is.
Here's what I would do if I was going to do either one of those. I would actually sign Jameis Winston.
Yep.
Because he's the healthier of the two quarterbacks.
Right.
He may not be the better of the two quarterbacks, but he's the healthier of the two quarterbacks.
Right.
And I would make it a quarterback competition. and whoever won between him and Minshew would start. That's exactly what I would do.
Yeah.
You know, we also signed a linebacker, and this guy, I can't remember what his name is.
He led the league in tackles, and he is from Cleveland Browns. Dave, another Ohio team that you lost a player from, came down south. So, free agency's going on, and we'll get into that. I know this, and I promise you, maybe we'll start off with sports next week, Byron.
Sure.
Get into a little bit.
Why don't we do that, Dave?
Yeah, let's start off in the
about
sport.
some free agency
and stuff.
And because Tom Brady is, from what I understand, is going to Tampa.
Yeah.
That's a done deal.
That's a
done deal.
2-year deal, $57 million or $51 million. That's a done square deal. Brady is now a Tampa Bay Buccaneer.
Wow.
Yep.
He's
And
got
Todd
good wide
Gurley,
receivers he's throwing to.
Todd Gurley went to Atlanta.
Right, I heard about that.
He signed that deal.
Right.
Cowboys came to a contract deal after putting a franchise tag on Dak Prescott. They came to a deal with him as well. And like you said, Cam Newton's still out there. Jameis Winston's still out there. But a lot of these names already signed. Tyler Eifert signed with us. So there's.
I wouldn't put Cam Newton behind this line.
Maybe. Yeah, you're right. I mean,
I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't spend that much money as he's going to want for that either.
No.
I would spend it on about half of it on Jameis Winston. And then what I would do is, and I saw that.
I was waiting for you to make a comment.
Well, I mean, it's fun to eat crab legs after you win a national championship.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
Yep.
You know, the only thing is, I wish he'd invited me over.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. You know, he sent that out on Instagram, and I thought that was hilarious. There you go, all you Gator fans. How's that national championship taste? But okay, anyway,
I love that.
Anyway, you know, you spend that money on him,
Yeah.
and then you still have plenty of salary cap.
It's cap. Yeah.
And you've got picks out the wazoo.
Zoo. Yes.
You're going to get some good players.
And I agree. We'll talk about the
You're gonna get some
Jacksonville
good players.
Jaguars a little bit. Let me tell you. I'll tell you. Me and Byron thinks that the Jaguars should pick up a wide receiver. There's some good ones out there, and if they can land them a good wide receiver, and if there's a player that me and him know that's left in the second or third round, and it will be, and we'll talk about that.
Third round. The last time I talked about a player,
and I think that's what projected him to be.
The last time I talked about a player from this school, that's the same position as this guy that the Jacksonville needed to take. This year, he was the NFL's leading rusher.
Yep.
This year.
So
Jacksonville could have taken him in the third round.
In the third round.
And
should have.
Instead of Leonard Fournette in the first round.
Right.
And I was screaming and hollering and yelling at TV when
yes,
it was going on.
I did too.
So,
yeah. So if Cam Akers is left in the third round and Jacksonville's got a pick and he's the best available, they should go get him. But we'll get into all that on Tuesday night. Let's go to final thoughts. Real quick, Dave, final thought.
Be careful out there.
Okay?
It's definitely real.
That right there.
Yeah.
Don't stop living your life.
Yep.
But use your head about what you do and be safe.
Exactly.
Roger, since you've been helping out real quick, I'm going to give you 5-10 seconds. Final thought.
Be safe for the virus and do not go out of county.
Do not go out and stay in your homes, basically, is what you're saying. All right. Roger says, be safe. Okay, so you're saying stay in your area. Stay in your area. Byron Bagwell, final thoughts.
Well, take care of yourself. Take care of your family. If you know somebody that's having a hard time finding the things that they need and you have extra, help them, because there are people out there that can't go and get. My thought is really pretty simple. There's some simple ways to keep yourself away from this virus. Wash your hands is one of them. Touch something, wash your hands. Keep your hands away from your face.
Like I'm doing.
And it's hard for me to do too. You've seen me do this 100 times
boy, we do that, yeah.
So I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
What he's doing right now is great. 3 times in a 2-hour period is too much because the effects of it start to go away. Sorry.
Soap and water.
Soap
Yes,
and water
soap and
works
water.
wonders as many times as you want to watch it.
Yep.
If you can Google or do this on YouTube, watch the effects under a red light, under a virus scan light of somebody's hands before and after they've washed their hands for the correct length of time. It'll make you wash your hands.
It'll make you wash your hands.
It really will make you wash your hands. So wash your hands, take care of each other, take care of your families. And most of all, don't panic. Panicking is not what we need to do because it catches on. One person does it, the other person does it, and the next thing you know, we're out of nasal spray the next time because some dummy said that I don't know, Flonase cured coronavirus, and I can't find my nasal spray for my allergies, then I am going to be cranky.
Yeah, take advantage of this family time.
Oh, yeah.
When it's all over, we're back to
The runaround.
And it was great that you said that, David, because that was going to be my closing statement was no. And I'm glad because you reminded me to say that. And I wanted to get back on this time thing. It really hits my heart and it really hits my soul. We've talked about it. Please, please, please. Again, I've told you, I'm my worst own critic when it comes to this. I wish I could go back on some of the things that I did with time, with my family, my daughters, my grandsons, some of the things that I've done, and wish I could go back and get it. But guess what?
You can't.
You can't. After this 2-hour show, we've been on what? Just a little over 2 hours, 2 hours and 20, 2 hours and 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
And we're not getting that back. Now, we can get it back by watching it, but we're not getting that specific time back. You know what I mean? Once that time is gone in the day, it's gone.
right now.
So
we're in the future.
We're in the future, right?
No,
Yeah.
that's the past. Right now, we're in the future.
That is correct, and that's exactly right.
It works every minute.
So
Time
look,
marches on.
eventually the economy and everything is going to rebound back. Everybody's going to get back to work eventually, and you're going to go, my gosh. I'm going to look at you, Byron, and I'm going to say it too, and I'm going to go, my gosh, Byron, I'm too busy. Man, I'm tired. I need a day of rest. And you know what? I'm going to go back. You're probably going to go back and say, well, David, you know, when that coronavirus was going on, man, that would have been a perfect time to catch some rest and all
That's
this
right.
and all that. And, you know, but I'm taking heed to that. I'm just saying, spend time with your family. Like, again, that's the most precious commodity that we have. Again, family, all that ties in. We tied all that in. But just do that. And again, I want to thank everybody on the show again. Mr. Roger Cruz was on the show, Mr. Dave Holland, Mr. Byron Bagwell, and go ahead and then I'll close it up. Yes, sir.
There is something that's important as time, and there is something that is almost important as family, and that's personal liberty.
Yes.
Because without that, you can't do the things you do with your family,
That's right.
and you can't spend the time the way you need to spend the time or want to spend your time.
That's right. That's exactly right. You've got a great point there. So absolutely what Byron said. You know, thank our men and women of our armed forces, everybody that's helping fight this coronavirus right now. Want to thank our medical staff, from the doctors to the nurses to the healthcare workers, to everybody that's involved. Byron, believe it or not, he does a great thing. These people's got to have beds. These people's got to have things to oxygen to help them get through. So I want to thank those people. I want to thank our truck drivers. I want to thank railroad workers. I want to thank warehouse workers, anybody that works in retail right now. I want to thank you for what you've done. Get a little tickle in my throat, probably some of that grass. It's not the coronavirus, I promise. We've been tested for that, unless I got it just now.
I'm a carrier, by the way.
Oh, boy, wait a minute. Hang on. Hang on.
It's like TV.
Yeah,
I don't show
it's
any
like,
symptoms. Right.
But,
no,
yeah,
you show
no,
symptoms
you
from this.
show the yes.
That was a bad joke.
No,
Please
it
don't.
was. Don't-
You
don't.
show symptoms. There's no such thing as a carrier.
No, there is not. So, but
That was bad. I should
yes,
have
it
said
was.
that.
That's all right. But anyway, want to
Wow.
again, just if you got to go to work, you got to go anywhere. But these guys said, just take the precautions. Just be careful. Is all we're asking. We're going to come back Tuesday night for another great show. We're going to start off with some sports, Byron Bagwell, some free agency, some things to talk about there.
Yay!
We'll
No
throw
more
some light-
coronavirus.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord God. We got to
Good
talk
gosh,
about it
yeah.
again.
Well, I'm sure we'll get into that, but we'll get into that later on the show.
I think I'm going to do a movie review section.
Hey, let's do.
Or maybe some video games.
Video games. All right, I'll tell you what. You do video games. I do movie reviews. Okay. Let's do that.
What, oh, God.
Oh, goodness. Oh, boy. All right, Dave, and
You
you
know
do
that
some
this,
music
that
or
this
whatever.
Pac-Man game's really cool.
Yeah, or hey, what I tell you, one
Space
Den of
Invaders?
Thieves.
Space
Den of Thieves.
Space Invaders?
Space Invaders is good. Hey, I like
Galaga?
Tetris too.
Galaga?
Galaga is good.
Tempest?
I like that too.
Asteroids?
I like that too. Pac-Man, Mr. and Mrs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like that?
Wizard of War?
No.
There's another one not to pass.
Yeah. How about
Double Dragon?
how about Army?
No.
Hush. All right.
You're going to get us kicked off of everything with that joke.
Once again, we'd like to thank all of our sponsors for their continued support. You are the reason we are here and where we are at tonight. We want to absolutely thank our Sheriff Gordon Smith and the entire Sheriff's Office for their hospitality, allowing us access to bring you this awesome venue each and every week. And Byron, I tell you, I love doing this
yes,
show.
I do.
I
I do too, man.
On behalf of the entire team, we are on the spot, and Captain Hawkeye is not.
And we're here to stay.
And we're here to stay. On behalf of Roger Cruz, on behalf of Dave Holland, on behalf of Byron Bagwell, on behalf of Mitchell Gunner on special assignment at Hardee's in Old Town. Oh, boy. Yeah. Mr. Michael Heater keeping us safe in the dispatch office. And Mr. Austin Stevens also on special assignment. God bless you guys. We love you. Thank you for tuning in. You make us who we are today. We are the #1 show on Facebook Live and YouTube. You can take that to the bank. We love you guys. God bless
Good
you.
night, everybody.
Have a great
Be
weekend.
safe,
Be
everybody.
safe.
Good night.